Round 2. It's the Homeowners Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to bring you the best information and options for you in your home. My name is Craig Williams. I am doing the show without Kevin. Well, he just didn't show up. That's fine. How's everybody doing tonight? We're out here at Moonshine Deck, and it's going to be a good night. So glad everybody could join us. Hey, everybody. We're out here with the net. If you can hear, it's noisy because there are a lot of people out here networking, visiting with one another, making deals. Business is happening. So, and I got one of the biggest deal makers with me right now, David McGuffin, Space City Payments. How you doing, bud?
Doing well. How are you doing,
pull that thing a little bit closer, bud.
How's that? Better?
I think so.
Right.
Can you hear him okay? We got Rizzler sitting back there behind the controls. You actually get to be on camera tonight. So
it's been a while.
Yeah, man. You doing okay?
Doing great.
Yeah, put it. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, I can hear myself.
Okay.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah. Well, he's adjusting you.
Okay.
Cool. So what's been going on, man?
Nothing much, man. It's that time of the year where I'm busy. And,
yeah.
Business owners take a look at their statements and their financials that first week of January, and they go, "I paid how much in credit card processing fees?"
Everybody's looking at budget.
And then, or they look and say, well, my business has been stagnant for the last year, 2 years. What can we do to help it grow? And,
yeah.
Well, what if we offer financing? So,
yeah.
I've been getting those calls too.
So a lot of homeowners will ultimately end up engaging with you because there's businesses like mine that will use guys like you in order to make the hit of a big project less hurty. yeah,
and it makes it affordable.
Right.
When you sell a deal like that, and you're looking at people look at the overall price, but they're also looking at that monthly payment. What are we paying for a month? We know what our mortgage is every month. We know what our car payment is every month. You know how much you have left over, so you know what you can afford. So, a lot of people don't want to spend that cash when they can put it in some investments and continue that cash to grow and just pay that monthly fee, because sometimes their growth of their investments is more than what the interest rate is on a short-term loan, especially if you're offering 0% for 12-month type loan.
Right.
So,
yeah. Well, and I heard there was a bit of a shakeup in the auto industry with you guys, right?
With financing, yes.
Well, not with you.
Well, not with me.
You're right.
Thankfully. But Snap Finance and Easy Pay both lost their backing banks, so they can no longer fund auto repairs. So auto shops are starting to scramble now, looking for other alternatives. And there's some out there. I happen to have, a great program for auto repair shops and transmission shops, anything related to that.
Yeah.
We can do, 0%, same as cash for 12 months. We can go down to subprime credit. We even have no credit needed options, for auto repair shops.
Yeah.
So, we pretty much cover the gamut when it comes to being able to finance anything.
Is there a reason those guys lost their ability to finance those things? Or do you even know?
I don't even know. I just know that, as of end of November, Snap Finance and Easy Pay, and I believe they had the same backing banks for both of them. Those backing banks said they're no longer going to fund auto repairs.
That just seems weird to me. I mean, because auto repair seems like such a solid investment as far as lending goes. I mean, because people need their car in order to get to work, or people like me. I have to have a vehicle in order for work to get done.
Well, you have to have several vehicles for work.
I don't want to brag, but you're absolutely right. I mean, especially here's the thing, is I know that automotive prices, for a new car, crazy inflated still.
Oh yeah.
I know that they're inflated, and there's I don't want to get all conspiracy theory on it, but I know that there is a collective effort amongst the auto sales people to keep the prices up because their margins are so high and they want to keep them high. And but because of that, there's a high demand on used cars, which is driving the price up on those.
Yep, the used car market ever since COVID has been outrageous.
Yeah. So like auto repair to me seems like a solid investment for a lender to be like, well, yeah, people are going to want to get their used cars worked on more, so we ought to be able to lend. That's a solid investment because they're not spending money on new cars as much.
Well, in my world, that's Snap and Easy Pay's loss.
Yeah.
I've got, like I said, I represent two different lenders. Both of them have 35 plus direct lenders.
Yeah.
So we have options.
Right.
And one of my lenders that I deal with, we have a lender that loves auto repair. So we can do the 550 credit score.
Right.
Which if you look at Synchrony and some of the others that are out there, they only go down to a 650. 620.
As far as like a credit score?
Yeah. Some of them can go down to a 625, but what about that single mother of three that needs her car to get to work? That just recently went through a divorce. Her credit took a hit, and she's got a 580 credit score. How's she gonna get her car fixed?
Yeah.
Short of trying to borrow money from family or friends.
Yeah.
With the programs like I offer, she can get her car fixed, reasonable interest rate, and be on her way again. With a manageable monthly payment.
So really, what you need is you need all the local auto shops because they've lost a lot of their financing ability if they were using these other companies. They need to reach out to you so you can get them into an affordable system where they can get their clients taken care of for the big repairs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just auto repair we do either. We offer financing for attorneys, digital marketing agencies. So it's not just for like home services or auto repair.
Right.
It's basically anybody that's got that their average ticket or high tickets are $1,000 and more. People want to be able to finance that stuff.
Yeah. Well, and to be very transparent, we use you.
Yes.
And because one of our biggest ticket items is mosquito misting systems.
Yep.
Which is it's a luxury for sure, but they're expensive, and most people just aren't ready or have the cash on hand that they want to spend, between $3,000 and $6,000 to do mosquito control.
Well, you can put it hand in hand when you're going out to treat somebody's house. They're doing their bi-monthly or bi-quarter, their quarterly treatment. Say, hey, it's getting ready to come mosquito season. Have you thought about a mosquito misting system? We offer financing on these. So that's an affordable monthly payment. We can even do the 0%. Same as cash. 6, 12, 18 months.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will move on that because they like to enjoy their backyards in the summertime.
For sure. So I'm getting the wrap-up sign from Sarah over here because we got the next guest. But before you go, have you heard about the buy now, pay later stuff that's going on?
Oh, like Klarna and
yeah.
What is it, Uplift or something like that? Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
It's just another.
Is it
a different way of saying financing?
Is it something that you do?
Well, that's basically what financing is. You buy now, you pay later.
Well, yeah, but this is different though, right? Where they are, it's like buy now and then start paying 6 months later, but then that's when the real interest rate kicks in.
Yeah, they're a much higher interest rate than traditional financing.
That's the thing.
They're limited by law how high they can go.
Yes.
But they're going to be the highest they can possibly get. And you don't see people with 800 or 850 credit scores doing buy now, pay laters usually.
I heard somebody talking about payday advance, like these paycheck advance companies. They don't fall under the same regulations, and sometimes those guys are charging upwards of 400%.
It's basically loan sharking.
Yes. It's crazy, man. I can't imagine.
Business owners, you need to be able to go through somebody that, is trustworthy, that, has a portfolio that they can show you. One of the companies I represent, we do, windows by Anderson. We have Panicking. We have Amco transmissions. So we've got a lot of big names behind, some of the lenders that we use.
Right.
So.
All right, so real quick, if people want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Well, they can reach me at 737-932-2160. or they can email me at david@spacecitypayments.com, or just go on my website and fill out the contact form.
Fantastic,
So,
man. Dude, thank you so much for sitting
man,
down.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, yeah. This is
Enjoy
nice.
it.
We're close. Yeah. All right, guys, while he's swapping out, want to make sure and thank the sponsor for this episode, Lone Star Appliance Repair. If you ever need an appliance repaired and you are in the North Houston area, they are the go-to company. We use them all the time at my own home. They even saved my life one time by finding a gas leak in my dryer. If you need to get a hold of them, you can reach them at 936-647-2364. Again, that is 936-647-2364. And you can even text them day or night, and they will get you on the schedule and make sure that your appliances are well cared for and repaired. They'll also do a lot of maintenance on your appliances. We had to get them out to clean our dryer because, not our dryer, our washing machine. I don't know if you guys even know this, but like your washing machine can be rather stinky, and they offer a cleaning service for that. Make sure your washing machine lasts a little bit longer and your clothes don't get as funky. Again, give them a call, 936-647-2364. All right, we have the incomparable Paul, the plumber. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
I'm glad you got my official request to come sit down with me.
I sure did.
I wanted to find out how tired you are.
I'm worn out.
I bet you've been just running the gauntlet for like the last 2 weeks.
Well, it's nowhere near as bad as 2021.
Sure.
Most people were prepared this time.
At least a little more prepared.
A little more prepared.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I'm kind of down a guy right now.
Okay.
So I'm running and gunning on top of all that.
I mean, just for context, people watching the show, I mean, because like there's a lot of people that watch it from not in Texas. I mean, like we had a massive freeze. Not a massive freeze. It was for Texas. It was a massive freeze.
This last one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would say for us Texans.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, because it got like down to like 15.
Yeah, and the one in 2021 was of
like 7
biblical proportions.
Yeah, that was
for us.
Yes.
And they just don't build houses the way they do up north.
No.
It's the codes are not the same. Different region, different climates.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's some things we could learn from our brothers from up north. Most of my customers were from like Minnesota. And
they're like, what the
the
heck?
Dakotas. When the freeze came in 2021, they were schooling me. And I said, man, if I ever start a podcast, I would like to invite you to, but I'm nothing like you, Craig. You are the podcast king. So I had a...
No, I mean, like, but you could probably do really well. I mean, just talking about the weird stuff that you see. I mean, like, really. I mean, like, I'm a big proponent of, like, everybody at least ought to dip their toe in the podcast. I mean, because everybody's got interesting stuff to say. The whole thing with this show is I have next to nothing interesting to say. I just talk to interesting people and am good at asking questions.
Yes, you are.
So that's what makes the show interesting is guys like you. I mean, because you've had an interesting experience through some unique situations.
Very unique.
Yeah.
Very unique. Any hour of night over the last 32 years, I've been out at every hour of the night. You could just say 3:13 a.m. I've been called out at 3:13 a.m.
How do you, real quick, how do you guys, I mean, I'm interested, like, just from a business perspective, how you guys manage that?
Well, at this point in my life, when we started business 5 years ago, that was one thing for me to start a business. I don't, at the time, provide a 24-hour service.
Right.
I'm there. I'm trying to help where I can and when I can, but...
I mean, it's like, are you keeping like a cell phone by the bedside table? Or,
it's not like that anymore, but that's the way it used to be. I mean, literally, I do work for a doctor, and the doctor's like, man, you're more busier than I am.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, my pager goes off. It goes off all the time back then.
Yeah.
But I worked for people that we provided that service at that time for that company.
Yeah.
But as my advancing age, it's a little harder to get up at 2:30 in the morning. I've been out in business at 10, 12, 4 o'clock in the morning, any holiday since we started 5 years ago, and pretty much any evening I could go out. But it's never, a lot of times we get isolated for a residential customer.
Yeah.
They got 4 toilets, and one's not working. they know how to turn the water off.
Right.
If I have to go there and turn the water off, or before the freeze, people were trying to get prepped. Let's back up a little bit. I'll give you a perfect example. They were trying to get prepped for this freeze, and they were breaking stuff 3 or 4 days before, like hose bibs, breaking them off in the brick and the wall.
Oh, gosh.
I would just go cap it off, and I still haven't got to those customers yet.
Oh, my gosh.
I've got a list of about 10 customers we need to get to.
Okay, so we do a little bit of this. It's not plumbing, but do you guys offer like prep services? I mean, like to kind of get your home ready for, like if you see like a storm coming?
We could do some winterizing, but it's every case is different.
Sure.
It's some people have no insulation, so it's hard. We can prep your backflow preventer for your irrigation. I could do that with some dry towels, a screwdriver, and garbage bag.
Right.
And I can do that, and it ain't going to break. But like in the wall, the exterior walls, most freezes here, that's what you have to worry about, exterior walls.
Yeah.
And some stuff closer to the edge. Maybe a little bit in the attic, but most of it's exterior wall. PVC is worse.
Yeah.
CPVC and PVC are the worst.
Yeah.
They break easy. Copper's the next. Galvanized, if it's old, it won't split, but if there's a bad spot, it'll start dripping.
Yeah.
Okay. PEX, I'm on the bandwagon for PEX.
Yeah.
Out of all those calls we got in 2021, we probably took 1,200 calls for a 2-truck operation in 2021. We were only able to help about 200 families, and it was a first come, first serve. And this freeze, we probably took 50 calls, and most people,
You're able
the
to
way
help?
we've been around, we're able to help because they'll wait for us. I'll go over there and cap it off, isolate it, get them one restroom and a kitchen maybe, and
just get them up and running.
Again and say, look, we'll come back, call us back, we'll come back, get you running. That way you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But nowhere near as bad. Most people were prepped and ready to go, which was great.
Yeah. So like we do winterization for misting systems because they're all outside, and it's a pretty simple process, but like you actually have to like be prepared and do it before the cold weather comes. Well, you know as well as I do, most people's idea of preparation is like day before. And so like what was supposed to be the day before the freeze ended up being the freeze. And so like most of the people, by the time we got to them, their stuff was already frozen.
Right.
And it's like all we can do is just like pull it out and thaw it out and hope it survives. It's like,
Well, the funny thing about this freeze, I didn't see as much widespread stuff, outdoor stuff, hose bibs. I cut stuff out because they knew it was frozen.
Yeah.
Cut stuff, I knew there was still ice in it, but we didn't have the 2021 that was like 4 days.
Yes.
Of below freezing. If you can get below freezing 10, 15 degrees, and then maybe the next day it goes up to 35, you're okay.
Right.
Because it'll fall back in a safe way. But if it's more than 24 hours, you start worrying. If it's more than 36, get ready. If it's 48 hours, the plumber better get some rest because literally all hell's about to break loose. And I was praying that we'd just warm up. I'm serious.
Yeah.
It happened about 34 years ago when the last big one, and it was before I got into plumbing, literally before. And 2021, I was 51 years old when that one came through. I hope another 30 years passes before we get one like that. I'll be in my 80s.
It's just like you'll be retired.
I'm hoping I'll be retired, and if I'm not, I don't think I'll be too old to even jump in somebody's attic and do anything. So, but I don't wish that on nobody.
So, were you guys the ones that ended up repiping my parents' house? Or was that somebody else?
No, that was someone else.
That was somebody else. But they redid it with PEX.
Yes.
How crucial is that for people in their homes? I mean, because I know a lot of new homes are putting PEX in, but like from your perspective, like how crucial is that for like extreme weather events?
PEX is the most resilient. PEX Type A is the expandable one. The Uponor is the brand name that I know of.
What is it?
Uponor.
Uponor.
and that's a brand name. And that stuff right there, I was showed this stuff about 12, 15 years ago, and I was the old style plumber. I don't believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
If it ain't copper, it ain't gonna work. And the rep went to be. It was just the rep needed to show us how to do it.
Right.
And we during training, I go, them plastic fittings are going to break, my man. These poly fittings you have, they're black, and it's kind of a plastic. He goes, no, sir, they don't. I go, okay, tell me. He goes, this pipe expands when it freezes. That's type A only. Okay, there's B and C.
Oh, okay.
Okay, type A will expand, and then he goes, when that stuff freezes, all the water in them fittings actually go to the pipe. So me and my critical thinking, I went home, had a deep freeze, made up a T with 4 foot on each side with a cap, capped everything off, put it in my deep freeze for about 2 weeks. Came out, cut that fitting right in half. There wasn't a drop of water in that fitting.
Really?
And then I left the other one in there, took it out, and put it in my garage in the middle of the summer. By the end of the day, it all went back to original size and nothing busted.
That's cool.
And like I said, we had over 1,200 calls in 2021, but not one PEX line had a freeze break or anything. And that's including B and C PEX.
Oh, okay. So like even on the lower grades.
My very first call out was to a lady in the Woodlands, on Lake Woodlands. And what's so funny, these are really zoned homes where, they have a neighborhood Facebook page and they have neighborhood homeowner association. Somebody put in an outdoor kitchen and run a PEX line from the house where the hose bib was along the lattice. In front of it, blue. It was snow everywhere. Things started breaking in the house, the CPVC, which was going to break if it's not protected.
Right.
Went along the side of the house, went under the outdoor kitchen, and the pipe that it connected to broke, and then the it's about 60 foot, and the 2 little copper lines at the faucet and the angle stops broke, exploded,
but not the PEX.
But the PEX was fine. So I really, now in this freeze, I told people we're just going to replace 10 foot, 12 foot of PEX. It's relatively a good price, and I get a flat price for 10 feet, and that, like your hose bib, we can come up the wall, go in the attic or in the subfloor 2 or 3 feet. That'll kick it out of a freeze zone. And we charge somebody $475, $500 to do that. And if it's got to go another 5 feet, what the heck, I just take care of my customer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So customer's more like family to us than a customer.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm getting the signal from Sarah. All right, but real quick, I want a simple question. Thumbs up, thumbs down, shark bites.
In a pinch, thumbs up. But permanent, I still, from freezing 2021, I still go fix the stuff from the handyman that fixed it in 2021.
With the shark bites?
With the shark bites that exploded in this freeze.
Ooh, there you go.
And every other freeze.
That's what I wanted to know.
I'll cap it off temporarily with one or something, but it will not be a permanent repair. Not any self-respected, licensed, insured plumber with a reputation is going to do that.
Oh, there you go. That's what I wanted to hear. All right. How do people get a hold of you, bud?
Oh, they can call us at 832-521-3252, or they can go to our website, www.paultheplumberllc.com. They can schedule online. It's a request. It's not concrete, but
sure.
And, pretty much anything. Thank you for having me on your show here, man.
Always good
Craig,
to talk to you,
it's always
man.
good to talk.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too, buddy.
All right, guys. You just heard some strong wisdom from Paul the plumber on the shark bites. Take that to heart. Again, thank you to our sponsor, Lone Star Appliance Repair. Again, if you need any of your appliances repaired, give them a call. You can reach out to them at 936-647-2364. They will get you taken care of. Refrigerator, washing machine, dishwasher. I don't think they do microwaves. You could ask them. It might happen. So anyway, we got our next guest sitting with us right now. Tell everybody who you are. Well, you're gonna have to pull that thing real close.
Can you hear me now? They told me to keep it quiet because obviously it's echoing.
Well, no, you don't. You be loud. That's the thing. You got to speak up.
deal. I am Christy Witherspoon, and I'm the owner of Floor Expo, a flooring company, and handle all your commercial flooring and needs, installation, materials, labor, you name it, we got you.
So what I want you to do,
Yes.
pull it in to where it's almost touching your chin. There you go. And it's not because you're being quiet, it's because everything else is loud around us. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is that better?
Oh yeah, that's way
I have
better.
a deep voice, so it's,
No, that's
so
good.
I was like,
The trick is, as long as you can hear you in the headphones, like they can all hear you.
perfect. Got
So,
it. Okay.
how long you been doing this?
Respectively 7 years.
Uh-huh.
We started in 2018, October of 2018. Me and the person who started it together, we were tired of the way the industry was working. There's a lot of wishy-washy stuff in our industry, and there's no uniformity, right? And there's no clarity. And so that's what we're trying to bring to the table, a little bit of
Right.
clarity to the flooring industry.
I want to move this real quick. People,
Sure.
just like oddly in the shot. There's no one there talking. So, I mean, like, do you guys have like a specialty, or do you just kind of do all floors?
Specialty, that's an interesting question. I would say our specialty is the fact that we're actually licensed.
Okay.
We actually have hold certifications. Boss Man makes us go through certification classes to continue our education within the industry, because there are and will be always changes within our industry, and so continuing education is key to us.
Yeah.
So I think that's what kind of sets us apart. We actually continue to learn and want to continue that growth spurt.
Yeah, and if I mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, like, you don't have to have certifications in Texas.
You're correct. You
Yeah.
don't, which makes us unique. So Boss Man comes from Georgia, and in Georgia they require you to have a license like a plumber and electrician.
Yeah.
Whereas in Texas, it's kind of like a free-for-all, right? They even did away with the plumber's licensing in 2018, and the whole industry was like, why would you do that? That's water. That they damage everything.
Yeah.
But you're right. So hopefully we bring it back to Texas to, keep people like us alive. That you know a little bit more than your average Joe.
Yeah. No, I was talking to my buddy Eric Gordonson. He goes by Eric G. He's up in Portland, and he runs one of the biggest home improvement radio shows in the country.
Wow.
And he and I were just having a conversation about GCs in Texas. And I was like, bro, like nobody, like roofers and GCs, there's no license, there's no regulation, there's nothing. I mean, like, you can just call yourself that thing and go do the thing.
Pay a couple $100 to have it.
Yeah. And he's like, you got to be kidding me. And I was like, no. I mean, like, it is literally the Wild West in Texas. Like you don't have to have anything. I mean, I'm a GC right now. I declared it. It's true. And he was blown away because there's so many like regulations and permits and things that people have to pull just to do like simple things like, and I don't mean to say that it's simple,
of course,
but like compared to like electrical or some other stuff, like it's simple, but like they have to pull permits for that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And like, we just don't have to do that here. And so like the fact that you have any sort of certification is impressive, because I mean you're going above and beyond what is required of you.
State required.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. And it's interesting that, the more I've seen in this industry coming from a medical background, and having that, we have to have our content licensing in the medical industry.
Uh-huh.
So why is it okay for the medical industry to have all those licensing, but not for like the flooring or the electrician or the general contractor?
Which the people in the medical field end up having to address later on.
Exactly. And you think about the price variation, it's almost exactly the same as the medical industry.
Yeah.
To have a colonoscopy is going to cost you $100,000. To remodel a whole house because a plumber messed up, it's going to cost you $100,000.
Yeah.
It's the same. So yeah.
What was your background in medical?
Actually, I was going to be a GI specialist. I wanted to work with your gut and your butt. I mean,
Okay.
I'm fascinated with your intestines, and I'm fascinated with poop, and so I'm that oddball. But yeah, I wanted to be a GI specialist was my end all goal. So
Can you sing the Check the Poo song from Scrubs?
No, man, I'm not doing
No.
that. No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I never actually watched The Scrubs, just because there were so many fallacies in that show that everyone's like, don't watch it because you're going to get corrupted by the industry. So I never did.
Do yourself a favor and just
Google it.
Oh yeah, just or YouTube, because it's
Deal.
quite a good musical number.
Okay.
Called Check the Poo.
I'm going to do that. Check the poo. And I'll get with you. I got you. I'm going to get back to you on that one.
I want some genuine feedback.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything accurate about it.
Probably not.
I think it was just a good song.
I think so too. I'll have to remember it though. I'll give it in my next meeting. I might even sing it as my little 30-second clip.
Yeah, Zach Braff, if you want to give me some commissions off that, that's fine. We'll take that. Yeah.
I like that. Free advertising.
All the new downloads you're getting from that's just for me.
Indeed.
Yeah. So I mean, do you have a like when a customer, I don't even know like what your process is. I mean, is it people reaching out to you? You go into the home? Do you guys have like a showroom that you bring them into? How does that work for you guys?
We do. So we have a brick and mortar that we actually run out of. We are able to bring the samples to the homeowners' homes if they already pre-choose those selections. I'm able to bring those selections with me. I do take them back unless they want to keep them for a couple days, and then I have a small fee of $25. That's just because that's how much manufacturers charge us to replace those samples if we need to.
Okay.
9 times out of 10 we get them back or we take them with us. But yeah, I come out, I assess the floors, I do it for free. Come out, give them an itemized, detailed list about what it's going to take. I list materials first and then labor after. Homeowners are more than welcome to pick and choose what they want to do, kind of like an a la carte kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so sometimes homeowners will be like, oh no, my husband's going to rip up the carpet. Hey, cool, my installers will appreciate that, trust me.
Yeah.
We'll clean up the floor for you so we can level and prime. But other than that, yeah,
Okay.
itemized.
So like from your experience, what's like one of the biggest mistakes people make in picking out flooring?
Oh man, they try to go with the fad.
Oh, with fad. Okay.
Fad. Everyone wants to be with the Joneses and keep up with the Joneses.
So like what's the fad right now?
Gray, get out of gray.
Oh,
My
really?
God, get out of gray.
Like gray wood or like what? Like
Gray in general. So like if people stay with your primary colors, that's great. That gray comes within the same 24 box of Crayola crayons, right?
Sure.
Stick with those 24. All these other grays that are out there right now, it's going to come and go. Right now, blues are coming in, greens are coming in, black, white, gold. Those are, again, it's a fad. But your primary colors will never leave existence. They're always going to be your primary colors. But gray, let it go.
just let it go.
Let it go.
I heard that was like a big color that people were like, painting their walls now. So are they like doubling down with the walls and the floors?
Gray whitewash finish is so popular right now.
Why?
Thank you. That is the begging question, right? Why?
Like who's pushing it?
The industry, Texas. So Texas is everything that starts up, they say in the industry, everything starts up north and then kind of merges down into Texas. Well, grays were popular 6 years ago in New York and everything up north. And then now we're catching on to the grays. Well, now New York is on the blacks, the whites, the golds, the pinks, the greens, the blues. And we're still dealing with the grays. It's like, step away from the gray, get away. And I'm hoping that people stop going with what the Jones has. Go with what you want.
Sure.
That's not their house. If they don't like it, there's the door.
And that's actually what I tell people all the time because, like, if someone comes into your home and they want to buy your home, like say you're selling your home, and you spend like $10,000 changing all the floors out to sell your house, I'm sorry, like they're probably just going to rip all that up anyway. I mean, like, which is great for you because you can like double dip.
Yeah.
But like, just get what you want because more than likely they're going to tear it out anyway.
Exactly.
And just do what they want.
Yep.
So just do what you like.
Give them that option. Like, hey, you know what? We'll give you this amount of money off because we're not going to redo the floors. We're going to let you come in and make this your own. You're going to make it your own home anyway, right? You're going to change some features around. As long as the bone structure is good and you're fixing everything else like paint color, your color and my color aren't the favorite color. I
see you
love purple.
sneaking in, Randolph. Don't see. We all saw you.
So that's where it's stop keeping up with the Joneses and do what you want to do. Be your own Joan,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So is it, when people are doing grays, is it more like tile or are they doing like laminate, wood?
The laminates and woods.
Hopefully
and
not
vinyl.
carpet. Gray carpet just seems like the worst.
Done that.
It seems like the worst.
It's a fad, and it's like, how do you match to that? You can't put browns with it. You don't want to do warm and cold. I mean, and then they're trying to make it to where the grays have a little bit of browns and they have a little bit of whites to kind of make it to where you can utilize it.
Don't want to kill yourself?
Get away from the gray. Get away. I mean, it's, every time I see gray, I'm like, oh, do you really want to?
Yeah.
Your neighbor has that.
You hate yourself, huh?
Yeah.
Is that
Do you want to be the standout kind, or do you want to just kind of follow the crowd kind of person? And that kind of makes them start thinking, and then I can kind of merge into be like, what do you like? What color? What is your favorite color? Let's find something that matches that. What's your favorite piece of furniture? Let's work around that. You know? And if grays works, then that's great. Let's grade out. But man, get away from the gray. Yeah, it's going to be my niche for this entire year. I don't want to see any gray.
How to kill the gray.
Exactly. Don't call me for gray.
So, which, I mean, could put you on some weird threads. They may all think that you hate Liam Neeson.
The gray ones, you know. Ray, I'm gonna get some awkward stuff. I can see everyone's comments now. It's gonna be great. she's a gray hater. No,
That's right.
I promise I'm not. But it's also a gray area, you know.
There you go.
Black
Well
and white.
played.
There's the gray area. You know, we'll play off on that. It's a spinoff.
All right. Well, Sarah was pointing to me. Someone, I don't know where they're. I think it might be Matt right there.
Okay.
I don't know.
Next.
But real quick, if people want to get a hold of you, how do they find you?
They can Google us, floorxpo.com, or they can reach out to me on my cell phone number. I answer it night and day. Don't call me after 8. I'm pretty much done at that point. Text message me anytime, 832-984-2681.
Awesome.
Anytime.
Texting is good?
Texting is good. I'm obviously we got to stay with the crowd, so texting is in. They'd rather
Texting's
text than call. So
Do you guys have any social media, Facebook?
we do. We have all our social medias, Instagrams. I'm working on some of those pages. We got some cool things in the works that we're going to start incorporating, and
Awesome.
we'll go from there. We're actually doing a referrals page and adding some of our wonderful members here for on the net, and so that way if my homeowners ask me when I'm in a house that says, hey, do you know so-and-so, or do you have so-and-so?
Right.
Hey, check out my referrals page. All my list of contacts are right there.
Fantastic.
So yeah.
Thank you so much for sitting down.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Good to meet you.
All right, you guys.
All right, guys, we are working through the guests tonight. Sarah is doing an incredible job. Who we got? Okay, very cool.
Thank you so much.
Come on in, man.
How are you?
Good, bud. How are you doing?
Awesome. Hello.
Come on in and sit down. So,
Thank you.
this is the Rizzler.
Rizlo?
That's my man right there. Look at that. So, if you want to grab those right there, that way you can hear yourself. Your lovely sonorous voice that everyone is going to enjoy for the next 10 minutes.
Fantastic. Thank you so
Tell
much.
everybody who you are and what you do, bud.
Yeah, my name is Michael Andrade, also known as the Cobra Slayer, and we are your shield in healthcare.
Uh-huh.
We work with individuals, families, and small businesses.
Why the Cobra Slayer?
Great question. My background comes from working as a vendor partner with Texas Workforce Solutions,
Okay.
and I work directly with large layoff groups across the country. You get laid off. A lot of times your hair's on fire and you might not get the message from HR.
Uh-huh.
So you don't understand your benefits, and Cobra insurance can be very expensive
Yes.
for Americans. And lo and behold, the role I had as a vendor partner with Workforce Solutions, we exceeded our budget, but when a company makes bad choices in other states, there's layoffs. So I was in the same layoff line that I had helped so many with, and I realized at that time that the experience I had helping displaced workers understand free benefits and services through Workforce Solutions or the Department of Labor, I realized that I can fill that void with health insurance. So
Wow.
the Cobra Slayer was coined.
I just wanted to check. I didn't know if it was an actual snake story or if we're talking if we're staying in the insurance lane.
Yes, sir.
So, just real quick for people that don't know, what is Cobra?
Cobra is an extension of your employer plan. So in the United States of America, if you're offered a major medical plan, which means if you're over 50 employees in the company, it's required by law that you're offered major medical insurance. Major medical is defined by really 4 criteria. Number 1, it covers pre-existing conditions. It covers mental health. It covers alcohol, drug rehabilitation, and it covers pregnancy. So if you need that coverage, you can maintain your same employer plan, which is Cobra Insurance, after the fact. You can keep it for 18 months, and there are some exceptions after that. But Cobra Insurance can be very expensive because that employer is usually no longer paying the portion of your premium. And
You're paying the full thing, right?
You're getting also taxed 2% of the group rate.
Really?
So you're paying more than.
So it's the full amount plus 2.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I mean, I'm glad it's there and available for transition people, but
Yes.
still, that's a lot of money.
Yes, sir. So in some cases, that ridiculous premium is going to save that individual or that family to ensure they get the care they need.
Yeah.
So
Do you know what on average people pay when they're on Cobra?
it fluctuates, but it's typically more expensive than that individual or family can pay on the private market.
Okay.
And the discussion we have is really about health to determine who qualifies for the private plans. And, if those private plans make sense because they're not major medical. And so what we truly do is we level the playing field. We help someone understand, do you need to pay for that major medical insurance and pay that high premium, or can you get on a private plan that doesn't offer all the bells and whistles but satisfies you and gets you what you need.
So where do you enter the equation? Are you working with like the business owners? Or are you working with individuals? Like where do you come in?
All levels. So I have a lot of background working with large layoff groups. So I've built some really good relationships with HR partners, and they can refer people out to me. But networking, which brought us here today, word of mouth, and really getting referred out, or social media. Yeah. But it's really anytime somebody may have a life-changing event, baby, they've lost coverage, they've moved into a new state. You're a small business and you're just trying to retain employees or look for something more affordable. You don't have the time of day to go out and do these things on your own and become a health insurance specialist, right, or a broker. So really all different levels.
Cool. So I mean, like for people that are listening that like either have health insurance or maybe they're looking to go like the private route, what are some ways that individuals don't take advantage of their health insurance? You know what I mean? Like because I imagine there's a lot of programs and it's different for every plan, I know. But like in general, what are some things in health insurance that most people don't take advantage of? If you can think of anything off the top of your head. It's
being scared or not truly understanding what they really have access to is the biggest, the unknown. Just not knowing what their program provides. So case in point, something that's really important that changed in the last year or so is tax credits. What's a family or an individual can receive by the government every month based on their household size or their income. A lot of people feel that, okay, I made X amount of dollars, I make too much money to get a subsidy. Right. But in reality, when we have conversations and inform them that laws and regulations have changed, so they're giving away more than before, some cases that family that makes $150,000, $160,000 who assume they were made too much, they may be eligible for help. And in the state of Texas, the big difficulty we have is the network access through the government is going to be an HMO or EPO, which is limited. So if you go outside the lines and even though you pay a high premium or get it for free, you're out of network and you have no coverage. And at that point, it's important for people that are out there wondering what's next. It's important that they talk to an agent like myself who is a captive agent, but I'm able to show people in small businesses things they cannot find on their own. Right. So that's a huge misperception. People don't realize there's plans out there because they went to healthcare.gov, they didn't find what they like, so kind of put their hands in the air and it's done. But the reality is that's what we do. Yeah, like in our business, we have an employee that needs some very specific medical care. And so we had switched some of our insurance, and their biggest complaint to us was like, man, it's so difficult to find the person that works within the system that you put us in now. Sure. And so we ended up having several conversations with our rep, like having to sit down with them and go like, okay, this is what you need to do, and this is what you need to do. And it's so convoluted, it seemed, for like the average Joe. Absolutely. And like I think there's a lot of people that are in that situation that feel like they would be bothering you to call, you know, but like that's not the case at all from what I'm gathering. No. Like you want to help, like you want to get them plugged in, you want to. Yes, our philosophy there is the more that we know, the more we can help. Right. And we truly, truly mean that. And our motto is we are here when you need us the most. Yeah. So there's the only bad question is a question that's not asked. really.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because the worst thing you could say is I don't know, which is an honest answer. But like most of the time, if it's I don't know, it's probably I'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You learn something new in this business every day.
So what are some people's and we're running up against some time, but I'm very curious about this.
Absolutely.
What are some of the most common things that people struggle to get help with that you found?
They think because they have health insurance, they've checked the box and they're done. But in reality is that's only a portion of what they should know.
Right.
What is your insurance going to cover if you were in an accident? So what is your deductible? What is your max out of pocket? What kind of coverage do you have in network or out of network?
Right.
And what else is available out there in the marketplace aside from what you have? And that's the biggest thing. Just like PNC, the costs have gone up. It's always important to understand what you have and compare it to things that may be available because plans change all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Dude, it's super interesting stuff, man. I wish we had a little bit more time to like delve into some of it.
Thank you so much.
I gotta get the next guest, but like you can help individuals, you can help businesses, people in between jobs. You can help them out with their Cobra.
Yes, sir.
Because you're the Cobra Slayer or Killer.
Slayer.
It's Cobra Slayer. All right. If people need to get a hold of you, man, how do they find you?
Yeah, they can call me on my cell phone. I'm local here in the Woodlands. My cell phone is 312-560-1980. And if they want to read about us or read our reviews and see how we've helped others, they can find us online at www.mlahealth.info.
Cool. And can you help people outside of Texas?
We're licensed in the majority of the United States.
Sweet.
Yes,
sir. We got people listening in all 50 states. So,
thank you so much.
Dude, thank you for sitting down. Really, really good to meet you, bud.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
All right, guys. If you haven't yet, well, then you haven't been paying attention. Our sponsor tonight is Lone Star Appliance Repair. If you have an appliance that is just on the fritz and you don't have the money to replace it, know that there is an affordable solution. You can get it repaired. You can give them a call at 936-647-2364. You can talk to Sarah or Darlene over there. They will get you taken care of, get you on the schedule, and get your appliance up and running again. Great company to work with. Glad to have them as a sponsor. What is going on, Mr. Mitchell?
Hey, baby, how are you?
Good, man.
Good.
So here's the deal.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about divorce at all tonight.
That's good.
Because Corey keeps telling me that we're going to have like a 3-hour episode to like knock this thing out.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to it, and so I don't want to spoil any of it.
That's good.
So let's, I know that you do lending.
All lending.
Yeah, all lending.
Everything, yes, sir. Except for commercial.
Except for commercial. Which, are you familiar with what's going on in the commercial market right now?
I try to stay in my realm. That makes sense.
Sure.
So I try to stay in the residential.
Pull it just a little bit closer.
I said I try to stay in the residential.
Right. So let me tell you some interesting things that I've run across here lately. So 2 years ago, I started predicting on this show, and people can go back and look. I can go back and find the episodes. In my industry,
Okay.
Most guys are 70-30 split.
Okay.
Meaning they do about 70% commercial, 30% residential. I'm the other way around.
Okay.
I do 70%, probably more than 70%, but like residential.
I can see that.
And a very small margin of commercial. And they used to make fun of me until COVID.
Well, sure. Well, now you had all the kids at home, so you had to kill all the bugs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like residential took off like crazy.
Absolutely.
And a lot of those guys lost their rear ends because all their commercial accounts got shut down because no one was in the office.
That makes sense, yeah.
What I started saying is like, hey, I know that these guys are not working. Here's what's going to start happening. They're going to start trying to figure out how to convert these commercial spaces into residential spaces.
Yep.
So I think it was last week, they came out with the occupancy report for commercial.
Uh-huh.
And it was the highest it's ever been, I think, since 1974.
I could see that.
And the national average, I think, got to, I want to be conservative on this, I want to say it was like 16-17% national average. Do you know what the number one city was for commercial in occupancy rate?
Well, I would say Houston,
It
because
was.
we overbuilt.
It's Houston.
Yeah.
It was close to 25%.
I could see that.
The occupancy rate was down to 25%.
Correct.
So what has Houston started doing? Converting those
Apartments,
spaces.
yeah, absolutely. Condos, apartments, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and so like all the stuff that I've been telling people for the longest time is like, look, when like real estate gets stagnant, they're going to figure out something to do with it.
Absolutely.
You know, and have you seen any of that?
Some, but it's hard to get those because they're not.
That's not like traditional loan.
No, it's
Yeah.
not because there's not a survey and you don't have an individual property, even though they're buying them. So you don't.
So how does that work with like a condo?
So are they warrantable or non-warrantable? And then you have to have a certain percentage of people in there that have to be owners, or it's non-warrantable, which is harder to get.
So what is non-warrantable
So
mean?
it's, if it's full of a lot of renters, and there's a certain, I think it's 51% or 49%.
You're talking about like renters versus owners?
Correct.
Okay, I got you.
And if it's non-warrantable, then there's a certain, then you can't get a traditional loan on it.
Okay, so what's the threshold on that? Do you know?
I think it's 49%. Don't quote me on that. 49, 51%.
Sure. I mean, like we're.
I don't do a lot of
shooting
the
from
condo
hip.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's
So if you have let's say you have a condo complex that's, say, 300 homes and or condos, and 50% of them are renters, and let's say it's non-warrantable, and then somebody that wants to buy in there, they can't get traditional funding for that.
So, but would that be different if they're using it as a short-term rental?
Could be, but then you have to do investment property, which then it's different down payment on different programs, and can they qualify on that?
Yeah. So do
It's
like
a whole different realm on
is
that.
that something they have to disclose to you that they're planning on doing with the property?
Well, yeah, because you're going to do a back-end fraud report on that. If they say it's my primary home and then it's not, and you find out they live down the street, then yeah. So then it's different down payment requirements and different stuff like that.
Okay. So like this is just how my brain works. Can someone have more than one primary residence?
Not primary, no. But you can have a secondary home, but then it has to be a certain mileage restriction.
But this could be in your realm. What if you have like a husband and wife that don't like each other?
It's still, but so Texas, and all right, now you're dipping into the divorce world. Now you're in a community property state. So you're still, if you signed on that line, and you're still married in the eyes of it. Now, I don't practice law or tax. So let me put that disclaimer out there. But you're still.
But you got to understand, this is where my brain. I always look for the loophole.
we've actually Shelley and I've answered a lot of loophole questions and tried to figure out, because I get pretty creative on the financing side.
Yeah.
My license ain't worth it, right? That's my job. I'll try everything but do that.
I like your brain, but I don't want to do it.
Correct. Absolutely. So, but I mean, you could have a second home, but then there's a mileage kind of.
Yeah.
A theoretical mileage constraint on that. But you could do a second home, investment home, and there's different down payment requirements. Is the difference on that? But you can do stuff on that. I mean, you can get creative on that side of it.
So what about? I'm asking for me now.
Sure.
What about like land out of state?
You can do it. I'm not licensed. I'm only licensed in Texas, Louisiana.
So you can only do Texas, Louisiana properties.
But we have access to 48 different states of land. But I'm not a land dealer. Neither is what we do.
Right.
That's a whole different product, because there's nothing physical as quote unquote real property to attach it to.
Right.
So that's a different credit union, local banks.
Yeah.
I usually say when somebody wants to do a land loan, go to a local bank, especially like you get a lot of rural questions, rural land.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I want some. Go to the local bank in that land where they probably know the owner and or know some creative financing they've had to do over the years. That's not something I typically would do.
Yeah.
I try to advise. We're more educational. We're not your typical lender.
That's
I'm trying
why
to do
we're
it.
here, man.
Absolutely. It's not like I don't try to dominate it. I try to educate.
Yeah.
And say I can't do everything. But
sure.
So land loans, you're going to do construction. You can buy land and roll it into a land loan. Like for instance, manufactured housing. That's one of my niches and specialties on that. Yeah. So I love that product. You can buy the land, use the land as a down payment. The equity in the land and or the land, if you own it outright, and as the down payment, put a manufactured home on there and wrap it all into one primary house.
Okay.
So,
but is that end up being like an FHA, or is it something?
You can do anything: FHA, USDA, conventional, VA. So which product do you think is most beneficial to the buyer? Depends on their.
Like for the situation you just described, like land with like a mobile home.
So the difference really is it really just depends. So FHA has general lower rates, but you have mortgage insurance that stays on there for the life of the loan.
Right. Even if you get above that 20%
Correct.
threshold. Yeah.
FHA is going to stay there, right? conventional, if it's 78, once you get to that 78%, it'll automatically fall off.
Okay.
On the conventional side.
So on the conventional side, though, if you put 20% down, do you still have the PMI?
You don't have to put. Yeah, no, not on conventional.
Okay.
But you don't have to put 20% down. You can go down as low as 3% on the conventional.
Okay.
And if you haven't owned a home
without PMI?
No, you're going to have the PMI.
Okay.
But it's going to fall off once you hit that 78%.
Okay.
But now, and that's a big myth that thinks you have to put 20% down. You don't. You can go down as low. If you're a first-time home buyer, which is described as having owned a home in 3 years or less. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't owned a home in 3 years or 5 years ago and now you want to buy another one, you're typically a first-time home buyer in the eyes of...
Okay.
So
even if I still own the other one?
You're not going to own it because you still own one. But if you, let's say, like for instance, like somebody owned a house 5 years ago, has gone into the rental pool, doesn't know what they want to do. And that's 4 years ago, but they owned a home prior to.
Right.
They're still technically a first-time home buyer. The biggest myth is that there's certain first-time home buyer programs and all these incentives for first-time home buyers. It's really not. It's just your down payment is 3% rather than 5%.
I got you.
FHA is still 3.5% no matter what.
Let me run this scenario with you.
Okay.
I've been in the house for the last 10 years.
Okay.
I decide I'm not going to live in that house anymore. I'm going to rent it out.
Sure.
So I go to buy another one.
Yep.
Am I then a first-time home buyer?
No.
Because I still own the other one.
You still own the other one.
Gotcha. Okay, that's
but
what
you can do, and what we will do is do a rent schedule appraisal on that and offset your, because you let's say you're new to that. Now you want to use your primary home as an investment home. Uh-huh. So we'll do a rent schedule, offset that by 75%, so it doesn't hurt you on the DTI as much.
I got you.
So now you buy the new home, you have a lease, or we'll do a rent appraisal.
For people listening, what's DTI?
Debt to income ratio.
There you go.
Which is a huge factor.
Yes.
In your rate.
Yeah.
Huge. People just think, the biggest question I hate is what are the interest rates today? Uh-huh. I always answer that, well, what's your credit score? What's your debt to income? Uh-huh. How much money are you going to put down? Because all of that factors into what your rate's going to be.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
Yeah.
If you put 3% down, then your rate's going to be a little higher. If you're going to put 20% down, you'll be better. But sometimes 15% down is better than 20% down and pay a little bit of MI and keep the money in your pocket because the rates are the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just depends. It's creative financing that a lot of people don't share.
Yeah. Or they just can't see it.
Correct.
Because, yeah.
Well, I'm saying a lot of people don't share. A lot of lenders don't share that or won't educate the homeowner out there. They just think they either have to put 20% down or, that's the biggest myth we run across a lot.
Yeah. All right. If you can believe it, we've gone 10 minutes.
That's awesome.
Because she's giving me the signal.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
That's good.
Man. No, you've been dropping a lot of facts.
Just imagine if we got in that divorce conversation.
I know. All right. So, okay, real quick before
Yes,
before you go, like, what's like a staggering divorce statistic that you know off the top of your head?
Staggering divorce statistic. So I'll give you the number one month of divorce is January. Okay. Because they faked it through the holidays.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I just need to get through Christmas.
Yeah. The next
I don't want to do it to them then.
Correct. And here's the biggest one that I do in every one of my presentations, and it blows me away. So we all go to wedding receptions, right? They're typically about 5 hours. Everybody's drinking, having a good time, right?
Sure, yeah.
In that one 5-hour wedding reception, there's over 1,300 divorces filed during that one wedding reception. It's crazy.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want your business to go down, but that's insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
And we don't do it to prey on people like we've been told. We've sat there on the other side of that table. It's a need, and it's a calling that Shelly and I went through. Not to go down that road, but it's a calling because we sat there at that mediation table feeling helpless, like we left a lot on the table.
Yeah.
And it's giving back. Our services are free. That's what nobody understands. Mm-hmm. Our divorce services are free when it comes to divorce lending, and we don't get paid until we do a loan.
Right.
So it's educating and getting those people prepared to
but
buy a home
it's such
at the end of the day.
Information
Correct.
For people to understand.
It's a whole different realm,
yes.
whole different topic.
Yes.
So,
Dude,
yes.
If people need you, how do they get a hold of you, bud?
You can go to, obviously we're local, but you can always go to homeloansoftexas.com. That's Shelly and I's site, divorcedhomeloans.com, and you can always get a hold of me at 713-545-2004.
Cool. And y'all be on the lookout for that divorce episode that's coming. We're doing it with Corey.
Yes.
I mean, we can have as many people in the room as we want.
Maybe there's a family attorney out there that wants to practice and or to reach out to. I mean,
yeah. I mean, there's so many
there's
of
so
them.
many
I can't tell you the number of times I've seen somebody like, hey, I need a divorce attorney. Hey, I need a
Correct.
divorce attorney. And it's like, yeah, you need that, and then you need like 3 other people.
absolutely. Because what we do is, I know we're on the clock, but what we do is we're helping them prepare for the next stage.
Yeah.
Attorneys are awesome at family law and getting you divorced. We're there to help them make sure that what that divorce decree reads meets Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac guidelines, so you can purchase a home and not have to go into a rental.
Yeah, dude, that's
what
so,
we're doing.
That's so incredible. Dude.
Absolutely. So
Thank
man,
you.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna do the long one.
Absolutely,
Dude, thank you.
Hey, thank you, baby.
Yeah,
Y'all
man.
be good. Have
Yep.
a great night. God
Have
bless.
fun.
Thank you.
All right, guys, if you didn't get anything from that, you weren't listening. Matt was dropping some serious wisdom. Who do we have? Oh, is it you?
do I need?
Because
At the end of the day,
at the end, thank you. Yeah, no one heard you, but I'm gonna.
let's see if I can get these on with a hat. How are you, brother?
Good, man. Can you wrap them around behind the neck?
Yep.
Are they gonna sit there?
I hope so.
You look way better in the hat than it's tough. I'm gonna
It
tell
is.
you.
It is.
And see, look, you slammed it down. You got a little foam.
I know.
So
Foam's good though.
foam is good. Look
It's
at that.
just aerated.
You see how I did that for you?
I think I can get you this.
What you got to do is you got to do this number.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been in your shoes, Hoss.
Yeah. So what's up?
Dude? People were loving you a couple weeks ago.
What's that?
With the freeze.
Oh, no. They love me after the fact.
When their pipes don't burst.
Well, when the pipes burst and they need it redone because it wasn't done right the first time.
Oh.
That's when everybody's in love with you, right?
Yeah. But I mean, people that used you. I mean, like for people that don't know, I mean, this is Steve Spoon, Victory Installation. He's been on the show many times. Made out with Kevin.
I don't know what possessed me to do that, but it
was the beard.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
and he's always so upset with me about the Ranger thing. I don't know.
Well, he'll get over it.
Yeah.
They'll go back to losing real quick.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Well, and then he's got the Cowboys to pout about now.
Oh God.
Yeah.
He's such a Dallas loser, but anyway.
Well, look, guys like him I love because like I could care less about professional sports.
Oh, absolutely.
I enjoy watching them, but like anybody that's just like so amped up and is such a fanboy.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's like grown men have turned in what it is grown. It's the grown men version of little girl Swifties.
But hold on. Let's back that. Let's roll that back for a second.
Sure.
Okay. For sake of conversation, our nation, Democrat, Republican, not getting political, just follow me for a second.
I'm with you.
Doesn't matter how bad our economy is. Doesn't matter how bad our politics were. We always had sports.
Sure.
You and I could just seriously be polar opposites. Sit down. We could have a talk about baseball all day long, right? Because we always had that.
Yeah.
And the whole Kaepernick thing divided a nation.
You're talking about like kneeling on the field and all
That's
that?
right.
Oh, sure.
That's
okay.
right,
Yeah.
right? Like there's only one Major League Baseball player ever to kneel. And within 60 days, he went from the Athletics catcher, full-time, their star catcher, to the Mexican League.
Oh,
and then
really?
gone. Yeah. Look, there is a book. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a book that's called the Unwritten Rules of Baseball, right? And one of the unwritten rules is you don't disrespect America because baseball has always been America's sport, right?
Right.
And you talk about the whole Swiftie thing, and I get that, right? But I really think that World War II, right? Mm-hmm. Baseball brought nations together.
Yeah.
I know I'm a baseball guy, and I get that. But I was always a football guy.
Uh-huh.
I probably watched 2 games this year. I watched 0. I didn't even watch Super Bowl last year.
Same. Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
Right? When you start interjecting politics into sports, I have a problem.
Sure.
Right? I mean,
It's not what it's about.
It's exactly right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, America's pastime being football, basketball, whatever it is. You know, it's something that's always brought this nation together and did great things for us. And you turn right around and you kill it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I can kill a family get together dinner in 15 minutes because my dad was always a big union guy. Right.
Sure.
I'm old law enforcement. Right. He's Democrat. I'm going to definitely be a Republican. Right. Because once you're in the inside of government, nobody wants big government if you're in government, right?
Sure, yeah.
And so I could literally turn right around and go, well, you're president, and 15 minutes later, we're packed up and gone, right?
People are throwing the mashed potatoes.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But 20 minutes, you know, everybody's gone, everybody's hurt feeling, whatever. 3 days later, hey, did you see that they traded blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Sports always brings back the American people. It does.
So let me ask you this.
Sure.
Have you, because we've talked insulation so much, we don't need to talk about everyone knows what you do. If you need insulation, just call Steve.
Yep.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory around the whole Taylor Swift thing with the Chiefs?
Dear God. No, I haven't heard that, but have you heard the whole thing about, you remember when, what was his name, Kanye West? I don't know, I'll ask a millennial. What was his name that took the microphone when she
Kanye West, yeah, that's
Okay.
Kanye West. Yeah.
Hey!
You don't. He doesn't know.
What?
He knows where the dial's at. He does. Don't ask
Okay.
him pop culture stuff.
Okay, all right. So remember, that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's re-emerging again.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I would imagine. I mean, because he's crazy as a Bessie bug.
Right. But the thing of it is now the Kelsey brothers,
Right.
being the true, Rust Belt redneck that they are rising the occasion, right? And the whole thing is how long between the Swifties and the Kelseys are going to take on the Beyoncés and the Kardashians and blah blah blah. And I'm thinking to myself, we're really investing our time watching this play out?
Yeah. So here's the conspiracy theory right now.
Okay.
So like the Kelsey brothers are making gobs of money off. They have their podcast.
Oh yeah.
And they're getting paid gobs of money by the medical establishment to promote COVID vaccinations.
Pfizer.
Right.
Right.
Like giving them tons of money.
Right.
Not to mention how much money they're making just playing football.
Yeah.
But like there's people out there, and like again, I'm telling people these things. I'm not telling you that I believe these things. Like I want to make that distinction.
This is the disclaimer right here.
I hear these things. I read about these things. I don't necessarily believe these things, or find them to have. I find them interesting.
Right.
So the thought is.
By the way, by the end of the day, because I need to drink. For review, wait. I got a disclaimer that, right?
Okay.
So, who don't know, Craig and I have created a drinking game. So every time that Kevin says, at the end of the day, we take a shot. And I was thirsty.
Because it's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah.
Because he says it all the freaking time.
Oh, that's awesome.
So anyway, here's the thing: is they are saying not only that, but they're saying that the refs were paid off.
Oh God!
So that the Chiefs would win, so that they could go to the Super Bowl, so that they could win, so that then Taylor and Travis Kelce could have this beautiful moment on the field and then endorse Joe Biden. And it's like, really? That's the play?
Like here's the kicker.
I don't think there's anyone that sophisticated to make a plan that bad.
Here's the thing. Okay, think back. Peyton Manning. He got calls that were ridiculous.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes. He gets calls that are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right. And if you can take this to any sport, right? I mean, I think that the bottom line of this is everybody's always said that the NFL, the NBA, have always been kind of almost quasi-scripted to the fact that the referees decide who ends up going.
A huge factor in the game,
Right.
for sure.
And I don't see, and that's the reason I love baseball is it's really hard. Look, tell me.
Wasn't there like a guy in baseball this last year that like they just kept posting videos of like how bad it was like one guy and it was
Yeah.
like his calls were like the worst.
So, but here's the difference between baseball and basketball and Major League Football is Major League Baseball, they get every game they're graded, right? So if you're behind the plate and you miss 60% of the calls, at the end of the year, you don't get to call playoff games. And then if it's atrocious, you go to the minors. They send you down.
Oh, okay.
So many people don't realize that. And I think that's why I love baseball so much is because it's really hard to cheat. Don't get me wrong. Wait, hold on. I know everybody's going to go to the Astro thing. Here's the deal.
My problem with the whole Astros thing is like, look, like they were the ones that got caught.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to say. Look, there's a rule in baseball, unwritten rule in baseball. It says that if you're not cheating, you're not trying to win.
Yeah.
All of them cheat, right? But the thing of it is you can't tell me that every down in football somebody doesn't cheat.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, every single down. But it's so much harder in baseball because everything is so visible.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And trackable.
Right, and so that's one of the reasons I love baseball so much is it is out in the what do you want to say the ether, right? I mean it's out there. You can look at it all, and that's one of the reasons I love it so much, right? And we could go on and on about how this affects everything, but I think but hey. I know my thoughts are scattered, but I do want to say something. I've been holding this back, and I want to say it. So, a lot of people don't know this, but I grew up in Iowa, and my hometown is Perry, Iowa, and Perry, Iowa had a shooting. What was it? 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the principal at my high school was killed. Due to gunshot wounds.
Oh, geez.
And so I just want to say this for everybody's out there. Y'all know me well enough to know, hopefully well enough to know that I'm a pretty stand-up guy. And I just want to say, go to hashtag Perry Strong, and there's a couple of charities out there to pay for funeral expenses and so forth. And if you could donate just $1, if our people here could just donate $1 to Perry Strong, I'd really appreciate it. And if there's anything I can do to help anybody understand anything else, reach out to me or my company, Victory Installation, and I'll explain anything. But and I didn't mean to bushwhack you on that.
I think that's great, man. Like I'm gonna try and put that in the comments somewhere, or put it in the show notes somewhere so that people can. I hadn't even heard about that.
Yeah.
Was he the only one killed?
No, there was another. He was in 6th grade, and he was in the cafeteria for morning breakfast, and the suspect walked in the door. Mind you, I'm catching bits and pieces. I don't have the full deal, but walked in the door and opened fire, and he shot the 6th grader and killed him. And he opened fired with a shotgun and a small caliber handgun. And before law enforcement could take him into custody, he committed suicide. But hence again, a lot of people don't realize that I'm not true Texan, born true. I love this state with all my heart, but my heart hurts a little bit for Perry, Iowa. And like I said,
for
Perry
sure.
Strong. Look it up.
So sad, man.
Yeah. And the guy that was the principal was, I knew him when I was a kid, and he's a stand-up guy all the way. And my heart goes out to his family. So sorry for dropping that one on you.
No. We'll be praying for those families, man. That's terrible.
Thank you.
Yeah. So and we are getting. I mean, we're getting the signal from, and I'm way more afraid of her than I am of you.
I know she's a bulldog. I love her to death, but
did he just
she'll get me?
That's fine. He'll come back. So. As soon as he gets back, just tell him to punch Steve. It's fine.
Yeah, why not? Everybody else does. Come here. Come here.
You don't want to be in the shot? Guys,
So-
this is Sarah. This is who we talk about all the time. Over.
So
you gotta lean in just a little bit more. There you go. That's Sarah, Lone Star Appliance Repair.
Oh,
Right.
my
Hey,
God.
let's put the
She
logo
is-
up.
She's like one of my very favorite people
There
in
it
the
is.
whole world.
That's her.
If you want the, if you want honesty, 110%, that's the girl right there.
There she is.
Because all of her texts will come out. They'll take care of your house, and they'll tell you, this is not worth repairing. This is worth repairing. I'm sorry, I was trying to get her in it. Sorry.
I'm just here.
But I mean, honest. She's always been very, very good to us and our family, and
Same.
I love her to death.
Thank you. I'm not good at compliments, but thank you.
Best people.
They're
ever.
well deserved.
Best people ever. But at the end of the day,
At the end of the thing. Like, come on now.
Mine's not over here. So.
You didn't agree to play the game.
I know.
You want to play
Yeah.
the game?
Oh yeah. So every time his partner Kevin says, "At the end of the day," God dang it. we gotta do it again.
Whale.
It's
Yeah.
a terrible game. It's not
Yeah,
good for either
you'll be
one of
drunk
us.
in about 15 minutes.
Thank God he's not here.
For true. All right, bud.
Dude,
Thank you.
Hey, real quick, how do people get a hold of you?
Everybody get a hold of me at, you can go to victoryinstallation.com or you can call 832-693-8115 and call, ask for a free estimate. We'll come out and take care of you.
Awesome.
All right,
Thanks, man.
brother.
Always
Be good.
Always good to see you, bud.
All right. Thank you.
All right. How many more of these do we have, Sarah?
How many do you want? Just people I ask.
I don't care. Do you have anybody else ready to go?
Yes.
Who you got?
Ben Houston, Corey, JoJo, and AJ.
Cool. How you doing, man?
Doing all right, and yourself?
What's your name?
My name's WT. I'm Sarah's lead technician for Lone Star Appliance Repair.
Did you say WT?
WT? Yes, sir.
I love that.
Yeah, there's too many Williams in my family. It's it's an extremely family name.
That's all my family is.
Yeah, so I'm named after my grandfather. All of his brothers, their oldest sons were named William. They're all named after my grandfather's grandfather. My grandfather named his oldest daughter Billy. She married a Bill. I mean, it's obscene how
It's a
family-
problem.
Yeah. When my wife came to me and said, "We're going to name our son William after you," I said, "Absolutely not." So we named him Liam, which is Irish for William.
William,
So,
that is, yeah, it's a way to get around it.
yeah, there's always a way around, you know.
So are you a junior?
No, I am not.
Okay.
No, I'm named after my grandfather. It skipped a generation.
Okay.
So
Very cool. So how long have you been in? By the way, like Lone Star Appliance Repair is our sponsor for this show.
yes.
So
yes,
yeah.
Sarah.
So how long you been doing this?
I've been working for Sarah for 3.5 years. I've worked my way up to be her lead technician.
Okay.
We've got 4 other technicians running around underneath me. They're all 4 amazing technicians.
Yeah. No, we've used several of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those guys. I couldn't be happier with the crew that we got running.
Yeah. So what is the most common call you get, man?
I had a feeling you would give me that question.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about it, but honestly, there's not really one common call. We have certain manufacturers with certain parts that we know are
Yeah.
notoriously bad, but the
Probably
best.
we probably don't want to like start defaming any names or anything.
No,
like
I'm not going to do that. But I will. In thinking about that, I was thinking, what is my favorite call? How about that?
Sure. Yeah. What's your favorite?
Unfortunately, people don't know modern building codes require a dishwasher to be on a light switch.
Okay.
So someone will move out of an apartment or something, and they'll move into a new home, and their dishwasher won't run, and they don't know it's on the light switch.
It's on
So I walk in, flip on the light switch. Nothing wrong with
I
your
got you.
dishwasher. So there you go.
So why is it that they're required to be on a light switch? Is there like a good reason, or is it just like?
So all building codes are based on safety, right? The reason why a dishwasher is on a light switch is so little Johnny doesn't give little Susie a bath in the dishwasher.
Okay.
Theory is it's above the counter. The little kids can't reach it. They can't turn it on. Therefore, if they do happen to put their little sibling
Okay,
in
I
the
see what you're saying.
dishwasher.
So like you can keep it in the off position unless you're an adult, you're using it, and you know that you loaded it without a
Exactly.
child inside of it.
Exactly.
I got you.
So.
Okay, because in my mind I was going like, well, just open it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a small child might not be able to kick it open from the inside.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, that's.
So the question I was asking earlier to myself was like, okay, it's like I know like all the appliances in the kitchen. Like, do you guys work on microwaves?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So like, what goes wrong with a microwave?
So
now, keep in mind, I detest microwaves.
Yeah. I tell you, in a house where they don't clean the kitchen very well, I detest microwaves too.
Thank you.
Thank you. They are nothing more than a grease trap hanging above the oven.
Yes.
That being said,
here's my other thing with sorry, you got me. No. Here's my thing with microwaves. I've never had anything out of a microwave, and people can challenge me this all they want. I've never had anything out of a microwave that I said, that's the best thing I've ever put in my mouth.
You won't get any contest from me.
Yeah, so, okay.
So,
but you work on them.
I do.
People are like, well, how do you heat up your coffee? It's like, it's called a kettle. It's I either put it on the stove or I have an electric one. Like, I can heat my coffee up just fine. Like, yeah. my wife is very upset with me because I won't let them in the house.
Yeah.
I just don't. I was like, I have no use for them. I don't want them. Like, they take up space. Okay, now I'm interested. You work on them. What goes wrong with them?
So one of two things typically goes wrong with them. There's more things that can go wrong with them, but the two most common things that we see is the magnetron will go out. Okay. So the magnetron is essentially a microwave antenna. Okay. And it's got two large, heavy-duty magnets on them. The heat, if you run one for a really long time, like on Thanksgiving, right after Thanksgiving, we get a lot of calls for microwaves. Because what will happen is
running,
reheating everything that was already cooked.
Yeah.
The magnets will crack.
Oh. Because
of the heat. They'll just fracture and crack, and then
I'd never heard that before.
The whole antenna is just shot. The second thing
what's like a good indicator that that's happened?
You'll just hear a loud, nasty buzz coming out of it.
It's not like when you put a CD in the microwave and it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the other thing is, excuse me, that when you're running the microwave, people grab the door or they hit the button and just open it right in the middle of the cycle.
Yep.
Because either they don't want to hear the buzzer, they're impatient, or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll stop.
I can see it boiling through the window.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll just go ahead and open the door instead of stopping it. Well, there's three to four switches behind the door that are conducting electricity at high amperage. And when you just randomly disconnect it all of a sudden, it'll cause an arc inside that switch, and over time it'll cause that switch to go bad. So I always tell my customers, look, when you're microwaving something, either let the timer run out or hit the stop button, stop or pause on the control board, on the control panel, and stop it. Because if you continue to just open that door, it's going to end up burning out those switches, and you'll be calling me back out.
Yeah.
So
on a microwave, I mean, on things like that, like a cracked magnet, a bad switch, or things like that, in your opinion, right? Is it worth repairing, or should you just replace the microwave? I guess it depends on if you really love the microwave.
I had one customer. She all of her appliances matched, and she was very adamant about keeping all matching appliances.
Sure. Yeah.
She just had that mind. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
She had that mindset about her, and so she was willing to pay the money it would cost to repair it.
Yeah.
You could have gotten a lesser brand, a lesser featured unit comparable for what it was going to cost her to have this one repaired. But she was adamant about having it repaired, and it was a magnetron issue that she was having. As far as door switches go, that's usually cheaper to repair it than replace it.
Okay.
When you get into the magnetrons, it's flip of the coin, really.
Yeah. Do you really like that, Matt? Do you really like that microwave? Is really the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
Us working with a lot of warranty companies, the customer doesn't necessarily have a choice. The warranty company's going to dictate that we're going to replace these parts versus replacing the whole unit.
Yeah.
They've got some formula for finances on it, whatever that might be. But
I got you.
So it all varies on whether or not a burnout magnetron is worth repairing a microwave.
Okay. So Sarah's giving me the 3-minute mark.
Okay.
So real quick, tell me about cleaning washing machines.
Cleaning washing machines. We recommend that you do a standard cleansing of the machine. Most modern machines have a set for cleaning your washer.
Yeah.
There's umpteen hundred products out there on the market. The fresh tabs are the most common one.
Yep.
We recommend doing that every 3 to 5 years. We recommend having a deep clean done on the unit, where you would have a guy like myself come in. We completely disassemble the machine, pull the basket out, scrub out the tub, scrub the outside of the basket.
Yeah.
Some of these machines can get pretty funky in the spots that you can't see. And we recommend, like I said, every 3 to 5 years, depending on what your water's like, what your use of the machine is like, to have a deep clean done on them.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how many people don't know to like just clean the filter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially like on these front loaders.
Yeah, well, the front loaders are pretty much the only ones that have that filter on them.
Mm-hmm.
The top loads don't have that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've got a little strainer kind of catch, but it's way wide open. Plenty of stuff can go through it. But the front loads are the ones that are going to have the filter on them. But another thing that people can do to help maintain is add vinegar to their wash when they're doing their clothes. That vinegar won't hurt your clothes. It's not going to make them smell like vinegar. You're not going to smell like a jar of pickles when you get done with your laundry. But it'll also help maintain keeping the machine clean, and it also doubles as a fabric softener.
So like desalinates, like
pretty much.
Yeah, the inside of it, like the inner workings of that. I mean, kind of like how you clean a coffee maker almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's good information to have, man. I mean,
vinegar was the cleaning chemical before commercial cleaning chemicals.
Yeah. So like, should it be like white distilled?
Yeah. Cheap.
Yeah.
Walmart gallon jug vinegar.
Yeah.
Throw a cup of it in with your clothes, and it's not going to hurt anything.
It's good for making barbecue sauce too, man.
You're from the East Coast. Right? We don't do that in Texas.
It's not a lot. You just put a little bit in there. It's good. Don't worry about it. You'll be all right. Dude, thank you for sitting down, man.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Dude, really good to meet you.
It.
I mean, like, I tell you how people get a hold of you, but I got your number right up on the screen. It's 936-647-2364. Look at that. See, I know your stuff,
There you go.
man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for sponsoring the show.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure.
Dude, good to meet you.
Likewise. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, man.
It is a good idea to advertise. I can get into that.
You ready?
All right, I'm ready.
All right, let's see.
Are we live right now?
We're live right now, man. Well, I'm live.
Where's the camera?
Right there.
Okay, ready to go.
You're going to want those right there. That way you know you're talking to the microphone. You got it?
Yes, sir. Let's do this.
You can hear yourself?
Yep.
See, it's magical.
Oh, my voice cracked right
Well,
there.
dude, tell everybody who you are and what you do. I mean, other than having written Das Kapital.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm known for.
That's it right there, huh?
On my side gig is I put a newsletter in the Wood Forest community.
Yeah.
The first issue is actually set to go out next month.
Okay.
So, long story short, I have a friend that lives in Carlton Woods, and her newsletter is what got her involved with her community. And, you think of a newsletter, everybody lives in a neighborhood, and they get, like, maybe a paper in the mail, gives you little updates.
Yeah.
But she had all of these Stroll Carlton Woods on her coffee table. I was like, what's the deal? Why do you have 30 of this magazine? She's like, it's the coolest thing. She's like, at the end of the day, it's just a newsletter, but they put a family from the neighborhood on the front cover. And then, I moved into the Carlton Woods, nice house, everything, but I didn't know anybody. So after this one issue came out, the next month, it said, hey, remember that family we just introduced you to?
Yeah.
Well, this month, we're going to have them hosted at blah, blah house on Cherrywood. Bring a loaf of bread and a bottle of wine and let's hang out.
I'm in.
And so she said the same thing. She said, honey, we're going to this event. We're going to make some friends. We need to know people. And the next thing you know, it wasn't the family from the cover story, but it was another family there. Kids same age, hit it off right off the bat. Now they're going to play dates together, all that. Now, through these events, she's going to the local grocery store. She's recognizing people. And I'm just like, okay. This sounds like what I tried to do as an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur, when I first moved to Austin like 13 years ago. I tried to create a brand called Alwaysville, where we promoted local singer-songwriters and local hipster kind of food establishment places.
Yeah.
because those have some synergistic, if you like local singers, you might like the local food grocery place.
For sure.
And so it was all about sustainability. Everybody was on board. They're like, this is the coolest thing. It was called Alwaysville, it was all like that. But I wasn't making any money. I was losing a lot of money, and I was very young, and that hurt badly. So I ended up, quitting the whole thing. And when I found this, I was like, this is like that, but the grown-up version.
But the ability to make some money.
And I think it's the best way. I truly believe it's the best way to promote local business.
Yeah.
Because print, my uncle who's a multimillionaire is like, why are you going to print? Everybody's going to digital.
Yeah.
And I'm like, print is always going to work. You just got to do something people are willing to read. And our minds look at print as something as a staple in time. Look at Wikipedia. One day it says one thing, the next day it says something different.
Yeah.
So,
because I agree with you and I disagree with you, because I think print can work as long as it has an audio component or something alongside of it to boost it.
Yeah.
Because most people are willing to buy the book if there's an audio version. You know what I mean? That seems to be the way that it goes. I mean, it's like they're willing to read the book, but they just want to know that they have the option to be a little lazy.
Oh, you got me there, because I literally will buy a book and get 30 pages in and be like, I'm just going to get the audio book.
It's
I
good,
tried.
but it's cumbersome.
I need it on my bookshelf to show off, but I also need to actually get through it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to use the audiobook to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also there's studies that show that digital media, digital advertising has an 82% higher recall rate when it's preceded by print.
Yes.
It's because people know that
when it's combined.
relative to that when they're combined.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, you probably have a lot of small businesses that are watching this show, or
for sure.
that you talk to yourself.
I would say it's at least 50% of our audience.
I would think the most important thing that I could tell somebody is not get in my magazine, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it is to find your audience, find your market, and target the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Get those marketing impressions to the same people over and over. You don't want 10,000 marketing impressions spread across all of Montgomery County. It's like if you have 100 gallons of water, you don't want to water 100 acres. You want to water 1 acre and try to get some actual fruit from it, and then you go to the next spot.
Yeah.
That's what I really learned through this whole process. And
dude, what I'm excited about for you is you are in probably one of the more exciting communities in North Houston. I mean, it's everybody wants to be in there, and so it's a lucrative market because there's a lot of people with money that are willing to move into an area where they want to be, and so businesses that want to do business with the right kind of people, they want to be in front of those people.
Yeah.
And it's becoming increasingly difficult to get in front of them.
What's a fortress is what I'm told. And they're
for sure.
If you're a business that's right outside of Wood Forest, and you want to get some of these people that pay on time and are regular customers, they're great customers. They're afraid, even if they get in my magazine, they're going to know that I'm not a resident. I'm like, you're a community sponsor. You're literally, your office is 5 miles outside of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We have one guy that lives in the neighborhood that mows lawns, okay? He can't do all 5,000 homes. You know what I mean?
He'd probably like to.
I've talked to that guy, and he doesn't want to grow. Now, I'll be honest with you. The biggest objection I get is people saying, I don't want to grow. I'm good, man.
Well, here's the thing about that, man. Growth is interesting because, there's a lot of people that talk about this all the time, and I'm interested in growing, but I'm also not interested in growing like a moron. And because I think there's a lot of people that are willing to do that, and I'm just not willing to risk my brand on someone that I don't know and someone that I can't trust to carry that brand for me. And so because of that, I'm trying to grow slower because it's more important to me to protect my name than it is to actually get more business.
You know what's interesting about that is when I moved to Austin, I was doing the singer-songwriter thing because my best friends were singer-songwriters. And I learned I studied marketing in college.
Sure.
But when I got in with these people, these singer-songwriters, I learned so much more about marketing by getting in with them, because this is what we would talk about a lot, is they would have labels talk to them. They would have agents talk to them about, hey, I promise you this, get your name on the radio and all that.
Yeah.
But what happens is you get associated with that one hit, and it's so much pressure to put out another one, that this is how so many of these bands crumble. So you're talking about this slow growth mentality.
Yeah.
A sustainable growth mentality.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I mean, I literally tell people when I talk to them, my job is to generate content people are going to read.
Yeah.
My job isn't to do advertising sales. I never signed up for that. That's what I had to do during ramp up, but I'm done ramping up now.
Yeah.
I just got to make sure the content's fresh. Because if you have an ad designed by a design team that people care about and you have a product they care about, I just got to get their eyes on it. That's my part of the job. And I'll be honest with you, you just got to trust me that I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Get on my email list and you can get a copy, but I don't like promising things that I can't promise.
Yeah.
I could just say I'll do my best, and I think this first issue is going to look really good.
Awesome. Well, I know you got your first issue coming out. I mean, what about that? Because we got the 2-minute mark, and she just gave me the signal. What are you really excited about with this edition?
I'm most excited about my publisher note. Usually, I won't talk about myself. Usually, I won't spend a full page writing a publisher note, but I talk about my experience in Austin. I talk about how on the politics you got on the left, people yelling crony capitalism during the bank bailouts, and people on the right saying, no, it's socialism. And at the end of the day, I know how I'm voting. My politics are small business, but we have to support each other to keep autonomy in our hands so we don't have to get that two-way kind of business. So I talk about all of that, and I really promote these sponsors as people that went out on a limb to give this tool so that we can make this big neighborhood a little smaller, one story at a time. Got my slogan in there at the very end.
There you go. Hey, man, if people are looking to get in your magazine, I mean, like, how do they get a hold of you?
Honestly, ben.houston@n2co.com, letter N, number 2co, or just find me, Stroll Woodforest, on Instagram.
Awesome, man. Thanks for sitting down, dude.
Yeah.
Good to see you, bud.
Thanks, Greg.
Serious beard envy. All right, guys. Once again, want to thank our sponsor, Lone Star Appliance Repair, as we're waiting on our next guest. They have been a tremendous supporter of the show. We are so glad to promote them. Honestly, if you need any of your appliance repaired, or if you just need a professional opinion, give them a call. You can reach out to them at 936-647-2364. Give them a call. You can text them. You can call them, and they will respond and get your appliances repaired. How you doing, Corey?
What's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, you having fun tonight?
I am.
Yeah?
It's a packed house.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's been. I mean, she's been hustling people through here. It's been crazy.
Yeah. She came and got me, and I was like, "You're up," and I'm like, "I'm here." So, I was like, "We'll continue this conversation later."
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
I got something to do. I got people to meet.
Dude, I was talking to Matt earlier, and I was telling him about some, and I was telling him I was trying to avoid like the divorce conversation, because I was like, you and I and he need to sit down and just have the long convo. But
people are begging for it.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be a really huge episode. We just need to sit down and do it.
Yeah.
But some crazy statistics I've had come across. Well, so here's the biggest one that I heard. I think it was today. It was an article that came out today about senior citizens in Florida worried about losing their homes because of insurance costs.
Yes, it's rising costs.
Have you heard about this?
Yes. Well, it's not just Florida; it's here too.
Well, I know it's here, but I mean, because so many senior citizens moved to Florida.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a major concern for them, because like most of those people are living off of Social Security, like what meager retirement,
fixed income.
Yeah, very fixed income, and they're talking about their insurance, like their home insurance, being like $1,200 to $1,500 a month.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
Well, the storms helped.
Well, yeah, right.
They've had a bullseye on them pretty hard.
Yeah.
So
this is great. Like, I don't know what the rate. I mean, like, honestly, like, here's full disclaimer. I don't pay my bills, man. Like, my wife takes care of that. All that stuff. We have a very inverted relationship as far as like traditional stuff goes.
Right.
She's the numbers person. I'm the creative business person.
Sure.
So like, I honestly don't know what we're paying.
Right.
She might text into the show. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like,
it's like, hey,
you idiot.
Yeah. Quit talking about our stuff.
But like, I was blown away that was like that has to be like. For most senior citizens living in Florida, I would imagine that's a majority of their Social Security check.
A lot of them, yes.
So,
it depends on what area you are. what income bracket you are, obviously. But you're on a fixed income even here.
Yeah.
And I bring up here for a good reason. A lot of people bought new builds the last few years, and you're only taxed on dirt. So when you have a new build, a lot of times the lender doesn't prepare them. They'll use an in-house lender for the development, and they'll go in thinking they're paying $1,200 a month, and then the property gets reassessed a year later, and the house value gets put in there, and that $1,200 becomes $2,500 overnight.
Yeah.
And the escrow account's short because it wasn't evolved for that.
Wasn't prepared for
it.
Yeah.
So, and then not only is the rising cost of insurance, then you have that going on too. And then MUDs are becoming a thing where they're starting to incorporate more MUDs in a lot more of the subdivisions. They've always been a thing, but we're starting to see it more profound than it has been.
Well, and this is the other thing I was talking about with Matt, and I think this is something that a lot of people don't understand. Like, I've been talking about the commercial real estate market for a long time, and I think a lot of people don't realize how much the commercial real estate market affects the residential real estate market.
Absolutely.
And part of that reason is, and I hate to even like say this out loud, but it's the absolute truth, is service companies make most of their money on the commercial side. So commercial real estate really props up residential real estate and helps keep the costs low because people can make so much on the service end of commercial real estate.
Right.
I mean, and you were in HVAC for a long time.
35 years.
Right? So like commercial HVAC, how much more valuable is a commercial HVAC than a residential HVAC?
The jobs are sizable compared to residential. Right. So whereas you would go do a whole building or multi-levels, we're talking $80,000, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 air conditioning jobs as opposed to a $8,000 or $10,000 job. Right. So
that one commercial job.
They don't come around often unless that's your specialty. Now, if you specialize in nothing but commercial HVAC, which there's quite a few companies that do, they're looking for nothing but big projects, right? So actually used to work for a manufacturer that did nothing but commercial. And they would do hotels, high-rises, things of that nature, water source, chillers, big projects. Yeah. Right? So those are a longer burn, so to speak. So you got to order, and it goes out in different shipments, and you got to do the duct work, and it's all a process, right? So those are always feeding the pipeline, but those are sizable jobs, big jobs, right?
Right.
So your residential contractor on a big job, 3 days. He's on 3 days is a big one, right?
Yeah.
So
I would imagine most of them get knocked out in like a day.
Usually a day.
Yeah.
And then depending on what's involved, sometimes you can do 2 in a day.
Right.
It just all depends your crew and how many guys you have on the job and things of that nature. So
yeah. So like and the whole reason I was even talking about that, here's the numbers. Like, we hit the highest inoccupancy rate in the United States since like 1974.
Yeah.
It got to, I think it was like somewhere between 16 and 17% nationwide. Houston was number 1 at like 22.4%.
Yeah, it's insane.
And so what's starting to happen is they're starting to take some of the office spaces and convert them to
apartments.
You betcha.
Yep, condos, townhouses.
Yeah. And so like that's just, that's creating more of a supply.
Yep.
Which hopefully will drive some of the prices down. But like, we're not seeing that yet.
Maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, and because I think it was back in October, like days on market was averaging 52 days. I don't know what it is now.
Okay, so our latest intel is about 80 days.
80 days?
Yeah.
Really?
So, but that was also based on the higher interest rate. In the last couple of weeks, it has dropped.
Okay.
Which it's like January 1st happened, and it's like, oh, now we can go looking for a house again. We're starting to see a lot more action on our listings.
Good. We're
starting to get a lot more calls from buyers. People are like realizing that 6% is not life-threatening, or it's not the end of the world.
Right.
It's becoming more of a balanced market, which is what we love to see. One side or the other is never good for the economy. It creates multiple offer situations, hard to get your buyers into a house, overinflates the house, and then when the seller wants to sell it, they can't recruit what they put in it. So there's a lot of disadvantages to having a market that's one way or the other. Right? So, and then you've got a lot of sellers that bought or thinking about buying another property, but they bought theirs in 2020, 2019. They're sitting on a 2.7, 3.2 interest rate.
Don't want to sell.
And it's kind of like, okay, if we sell this, where are we going to go?
Yes.
You know, they can't get the same thing they got then.
Yeah.
So there's not an equivalency there unless people are downsizing. And we're seeing a lot of that going on is they bought big because they wanted big. And now they're like, oh, well, we don't need all this.
Right.
And they're okay with a higher interest rate because they're looking for a downsizing property anyway. So there's the market right now is becoming more of a balanced market,
right?
Which is exactly what we like to see for the economy, for people, for everything. Because literally, your mortgage companies can't, realtors, whatever, you can't sustain an economy with a 2.7% interest rate. 6% is a good average.
Right.
So it's a good balance for income on all parties, everybody involved. You can still get a good turn on your investment, and it's not pricing people out of the market.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think people need to understand. I mean, like, and you know this, but like 6% historically is not bad.
Well, no, it's average.
Yeah.
6%. I bought a house in 04 in Florida, and I would say it was in 02, 03. It was 6%.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, I had a great credit score. That's a great interest rate. Nobody blinked an eye at 6%.
People got spoiled with the 2 and the 3. And
well,
the
it started
1
with 4.5.
Yeah.
It came down to like 4.5, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's a great interest rate. And then we kind of hovered around 5 and 4.5 for a really long time.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, and everything was kind of balanced. And then COVID happened.
Yep.
And then the 4 and 5 dropped down to 2.7 and 3.2 pretty quick. And then we stayed there for a very, very, looking at time, an incremental amount of time, but it was enough to go, I can't get that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and now everybody's starting to come and realize that 6% is not the end of the world, you know?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, just like a real life, I mean, I'll tell people my situation. Like we the property one, and you've been to our place.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
So I think we paid $320 for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, your place is wonderful. Yeah. I'll sell it for you.
Right? So, yeah, no, that's the thing is like during COVID, like 4 different occasions, man, I was offered $1 million.
I'm sure.
But like, you know.
You got a homestead out there.
But it's like, that sounds great.
Yeah.
But like, I start looking around trying to replace it.
Yep.
I can't replace it for $1 million.
No.
Like, and I can't even get close.
Well, you have a generational property.
Yes.
And those are hard to find.
Yes. And so it's like, man, like you could probably offer me 2 and I still wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
Because like I can't, there's nothing I can move in that's even like it.
Yeah.
That's going to get me close to what I'm paying right now.
Yeah. And that's where a lot of people are that are in your shoes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, I might be tired of this, but where am I going to go?
Yeah.
You know? That's why people have started moving a little farther north. Plantersville.
Not only that,
like
man. Like
you know?
I'm sitting at like 2.5%.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be done in 10 years.
Yeah. Done. You know, cash
really?
out.
Like,
yeah.
So, I think there's a lot of people sitting in that situation. Like they probably, if they had the option, if they had a better option, they would probably move.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm unhappy where I'm at. I'm perfectly happy where I'm at.
Sure.
I'm content. But like I think there's a lot of people that would be like, man, if I could get that kind of money, but put it into a place that's very similar, I would do that. But like I don't think anybody's looking at the market going, I can't laterally move.
Yeah.
It's either up or down.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost me more to get what I would like.
Right. Well, it's you look at return ROI. That's what we look at all the time, right? People like you are like, not you for instance, but say you were 20 years older and you didn't want to upkeep the property that you have.
For sure.
You've got a lot of property to upkeep. And it's like, okay, time to cash in.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see a lot of that going on because people are tired of cutting 5 acres and 3 acres and maintaining the flower beds and the pools and all that other stuff. And they're wanting a simpler lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so as the baby boomers age that have big estate properties and things of that nature, we're starting to see more of them moving into smaller communities that have the maintenance amenities and all the stuff where they can travel and they're not working on their house, they're living in their house.
Yeah, actually enjoying it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, Sarah's giving me the stink eye over here.
It's time to go. Well, that was quick. So, Craig,
dude, thank you.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
And tell people how they can find you if they need you.
So, Corey Reeves Realty Group. We're a husband and wife team out of Montgomery. Phone number is 281-932-2423. Website is Reeves, Reaves, srg.com, and look me up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're pretty much everywhere. So
awesome, man. Thank
appreciate you.
Dude.
And we'll catch that other episode real soon.
We're gonna make it happen.
All right.
So
peace out.
take it easy, bud. All right, guys. I hope you are enjoying everybody that we're getting to talk to. We are getting through a lot of people tonight. It's been such fun for me. Hey, how's it going? Come on. You know how to use those?
No, put them on my ears. I hope that's all I have to do.
That's it. So
Awesome.
Can you hear yourself?
Yes.
There you go. Well,
Perfect.
tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I am Cassie Taylor, and I'm the owner of Tailored to You Solutions, home and office professional organizing and cleaning.
Awesome. And like based off our last conversation, you're trying to lean more into the organization kind of stuff.
Correct.
Yeah. So what does that look like on the home front?
Home front, just whatever space you need that's more cluttered than normal.
Yeah.
I mean, garages.
You gonna like attack my junk drawer? Is that the?
Totally. You think that's
Is that the
crazy,
bane of your
but
existence? Is that the?
I do not own a junk drawer, so.
Not in your home?
Nope.
Not allowed?
No.
Uh-huh.
No, everything has a place.
There's not like a secret stash that somebody's got.
Oh, they probably all have one. I do not.
So like, what is there any sort of like evaluation that you go through? Is there like a conversation on the front end? Like, hey, what are you struggling with? Like, what is it that's like giving you stress? Like, how does that work for you?
Yes. So on the consultation call, I've got a questionnaire that I go through.
Okay.
Just as a 10, 15 questions, like quick questions, like where do you live, like basic. Making sure that we're in the right area. So you're not just calling me out of Canada and hoping I live in the area. I don't know. I have somebody following me from Washington. So
hey, if they want to fly you up there, why not?
Exactly. Then after that, if we agree that we're a good match, then I send a longer formal questionnaire for them to go through and get back to me so that when we have our in-person consultation and I'm walking through your home, I've got your answers already outlined, and then I can go in and go room by room. Like, okay, so you said your pain point is your pantry, so why don't we start there first and tackle that? Well, what other area do you might need help with or assistance with, and just kind of go from there. That's how we'll rank it, like what needs to be tackled, like what gives you the most stress first. That's going to be the space we want to tackle first.
Is something like the pantry where you find most people struggle, or is there somewhere else in the house where people like really have a hard time, or is like a source of anxiety? Or
it depends on the clientele. I've done an overhaul on a garage, and that was for a husband and wife. They were just
imagine that's like overwhelming even for you. I mean, because there's seems to be like a garage is a huge space, and like people tend to like just stack stuff in there.
Yes, so I just go and inventory everything, and I'm like, okay, so this is what I found, and so I had an idea of where they wanted things, so I hung bikes, I hung ladders, I created a fitness area, I created a holiday.
So is a lot of what you're doing bringing in tools? And when I say tools, I mean like things that help them sort and organize, like
if that's
bins
necessary.
and hooks and things like that. That kind of like, okay, like this is where this goes. And so like everything has a place.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like I built I purchased a shelf for them. Like they purchased it, but I went and picked it up and I put it together and made sure that it all fit.
Right.
I measure twice and buy once.
Yeah.
So I have an ongoing text making sure, like sending pictures like, hey, I found this. Is this something that you're interested in?
Yeah.
Creating Amazon accounts, that way I don't handle the money side of it sometimes, like here, let's create an Amazon, let's go back and forth and add to this cart and see what you want, and then you'll decide on what is best for you and your home.
So and again, like not to like diminish what you, but like why don't they do that for themselves? Is there like just a wall there, a block? I mean, like, what is it?
It can be that, or
I'm really asking for myself. I'm like, I'm a messy person.
I know you have kids, so
sure.
I mean, like, that's what takes priority. You're dealing with your kids. My house is not organized like I want it to because I'm trying to raise up a generation, and if I do it for them all the time, then you kick them out into the world and they're like, hey, wait, where does this go? No, they've got to learn it for themselves.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah, I get that because there's like a hierarchy of priorities, right? Like, because like spending time with my kids, that's going to come before whether or not like my dishes are color coordinated or whatever that is.
Exactly.
And so like sometimes those things just don't happen. But like I also understand that like at some point having things out of place creates a level of anxiety that is just unbearable.
Correct.
And I think that's why what you're trying to do is so valuable is because like you can alleviate that and take that off their plate.
Yes.
And get things in order. Is it so like once you get it there, do they struggle to keep it that way? I realize that's like I'm asking like a very broad question for individual people, but like in general.
I mean, if they're calling me back, then there's a piece that I feel like I missed. Actually, I've gotten some feedback here tonight that maybe doing a membership, like I go back and like, oh, I helped you create this, but you're struggling to keep up with it in one way or another. And I
professional
come back
scolder.
Exactly. No, everything is met with encouragement and, like making sure that they
it's
know
fine.
that
I respond well to that.
Well, I would like it to be on the healthier side. Like,
sure.
You're not going to invite me back if I'm going to yell at you all the time. I mean, we all have spouses sometimes.
Don't discount it. There's people that enjoy that. They're out there.
Right.
Got to give the people what they want.
Personalities. This is why I want to know if I work well with you.
So I mean, like, because to me it seems like there's certain places in the house that would be difficult for you to tackle, and I'm not saying difficult for you because you're unskilled, but like because they're personal. Like I'm thinking like the bathroom, like because I don't know, there's personal products and things that exist in the bathroom. Like I may not want you messing with those. I don't know. I mean, I'm asking for like your experience. Like, are people okay with that, or is that like I want to come in? I can come in and organize your bathroom, and you're gonna love it.
Right. It just depends on their comfort level. I mean, if there's something in there, then, I mean, you really have that conversation. Is there anything in this space that you would not want me to see? And if that's the case, then maybe you should remove that before I get there. And I'll send a reminder like, hey, remember, today's your bathroom. And if there's anything, any personal items that you would like me not to see, then now is the time to go put it somewhere else.
let me tell you something. I am blown away by the way the things that people are unashamed for me to see when I'm in their home.
Oh, I know, right? I've seen some stuff.
I just like, really? Like, you're going to leave that out for me? All right.
Thanks for the invitation, but no thanks.
Like, I've gone into people's homes and they're like showing off the stripper pole to me. And I'm like, why? Like, I don't want to know. I don't even want to know that that's there. I want to assume that was there from the previous owner and that that's not yours.
I want to assume that it's the fireman's pole and your kids are
that
practicing
you just sealed the hole up in the top. Like,
Your kids are just practicing how to be firemen in the future, please.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, like it blows me away that people. I mean, or just like they just. I've had people just like walk in the room and like, oh my gosh.
Right? They forgot that it was there.
Yeah. It's like, how could you forget that it's there? You made it into like an 8x10 and framed it, put it on the wall.
Exactly.
And told me to come in here.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm getting the 2-minute mark from her.
Right.
So what has been your most interesting one so far? Or one well, that may be private. I mean, you may not be able to talk about that.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's one that's coming up that is just like really I'm excited about because I mean it's actually just about a whole house and.
Oh, you're doing like the whole home.
Yes. Well, in a sense, like she wants to make sure that her family isn't burdened down the road. Like her parents.
Oh, is she older?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she still has her parents, and they're starting to like unload some stuff, and she's like,
wow.
oh, I don't want to be this burden. So just having that insight for this generation, that age group, it's just like, oh, okay. So I like now have a new way to approach a conversation. Like, hey, you know, because like younger people have talked to me about wanting to hire for their parents and stuff, and they're like, it's just too personal if I go in. Like, how can, you know, like I'm unbiased. Like I have no personal connection. I'm here to like really genuinely help. Like, hey, you know, and have those harder conversations, because again, I'm not there to witness the aftermath. Yeah. But
well, and I don't know if this is actually something you've looked into or not, but I've actually recommended this to several people who have had parents that passed away, is to have someone like you go through and just sort everything.
Correct.
Because like it's so hard for a child to go through and sort their parents' things.
Exactly.
If they have an outside person they're not going to throw anything away, they're just going to put it into piles and make sure that it's, you know, just organized, so that later on you can go through it and see what it is you want to keep, what it is you want to get rid of, because like it'll take you days if you're the child. It just will, because like you're just like, oh my gosh, this was my mom's. Oh my gosh, this was my dad's. Oh my, like all that emotion that's tied up in that.
Correct.
Having someone like you be able to come through and like organize it, put it into recognizable stacks.
Correct.
And go like, okay, this is this, this is this. And just be able, and like you could probably, I mean, I would imagine you could do it and like just put it into paper.
Yes, that's
you know.
It's inventory. It's a spreadsheet. You know, easily accessible to
That's
whoever.
so valuable for people. I mean, especially for people that have parents that are like either like that have become unable to take care of themselves or have passed away, and to have an outside person come through and just sort through everything for them.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
Anyway, how do people get a hold of you if they want to find you?
I have a website, tailored2solutions.com. Tailored is Taylord. ToyouSolutions. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, and my work number is 936-209-2087.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sitting down. Really good to talk to you. All right, guys, one last time. Our sponsor for tonight is Lone Star Appliance Repair as we wait for our next guest. If you have any appliances in your home that are making weird sounds, yeah, whoever, I don't care. Yeah. I mean, if you're tired of doing it, just shut it down.
I don't want it. You're tired of doing it. You're the one that's
I'm not tired. I'm good. Yeah. Guys, I was just talking to Sarah. She's the owner of Lone Star Appliance Repair. If you have any squeaky, creaky appliances that need to be fixed, give them a call. You can reach out to them at 936-647-2364. You can also text them at that number, and they will get you on the schedule and get your appliance fixed, repaired, and back up and running like brand new. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, brother.
What's your name?
Let's get this. My name is Alex.
Alex. Craig.
Nice to meet you, Craig.
You too, bud. What do you do?
I own Alpha Martial Arts.
Alpha Martial Arts?
Alpha Martial Arts.
What kind of martial arts do you guys do?
So we teach kickboxing and Krav Maga.
Krav Maga. Is Krav Maga the Israeli?
It is.
Yeah?
It is. You know what it is.
Yeah, okay.
Not a lot of people know.
All right.
But yeah, that's what it is.
All right.
That's where it originated, and
I could talk some martial arts.
Mainly
a little bit.
Yeah. Oh man, that is so refreshing.
Do you know who Jeff Bolt is?
No.
No, I was in his school for a while. He does Northern Long Fist and Southern White Crane.
Oh,
yeah.
That sounds fancy.
It's not. It really. No, don't get me wrong. He was a great instructor. Have you ever seen like Ip Man?
Ip Man, is that a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, like Ip Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so he can trace his lineage back to that guy.
Holy cow! Bruce Lee's instructor.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. He's like the only American to have ever gone to China and like learned under that guy.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's big time.
Well, I mean, like he is.
I mean, you know, 7 degrees of connection.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know a couple of forms, but I'm like,
I
whatever.
think we all start in a traditional.
That's right.
Setting. I started in Tong Sudo. But yeah.
How long you been doing this?
Oh man, 2 decades, 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, 20 years. I got my first black belt in 2007, and I've been teaching ever since.
Okay.
Then. Yeah, and it's I started in Tong Sudo.
So, I mean, like, you're creeping up on a decade of teaching, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Damn. Yeah. I mean, I just got my 6th degree in, what year is it? 2017? I just got my 6th degree. No. Oh, I got my master's in 2017. I just got my 6th degree last year.
Okay, so like explain that to me, because I don't know how any of that works.
So you go from white belt to black belt.
Okay.
And typically that's like a minimum of 3 years. And then after you get your black belt, you can either stop there and, do something else, or you can keep going. If you keep going past black belts, you no longer get belts, you get degrees.
Okay.
Depending on the style, some people call them dans, but degree is standard. So you get your first degree, which is your first black belt typically.
Right.
And then you go all the way up to, 10th degree, which is grandmaster. Typically, a style only has one grandmaster. That's like the founder of the style, the oldest individual. But its 5th degree is your master. So
okay. So your 5th degree.
5th degree.
Are
Yeah.
you in
6th degree.
6th degree.
Now.
Okay, dog.
Yeah.
We don't want to demote you.
That's all good. It's all good.
So.
And Tong Sudo.
What is Tong Sudo?
So Tong Sudo. Well, I say Tong Sudo, but it's Tong Sudo base. The actual style is it's called the Chuck Norris system now.
Okay.
But it was called Chung Cook Do, but now it's called Chuck Norris system because Chuck Norris is the founder of it. He's the one that started the style. But it has a few things mixed in it, but Tong Sudo base. A lot of the forms are the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you guys like learning like forms like? I mean, they're kind of like dances, is the way I describe them to people. Like, is that kind of what you guys are working through? Is like.
Yeah, like patterns in the traditional sense. So there's,
and I don't mean that as like a demeaning thing at all, but like it is. I mean, it is. I mean, it's very beautiful most of the time. It's.
Yeah. It's really nice. It's I guess there's different styles have like hard and soft style. This style specifically is on the harder spectrum, they say, compared to like Kung Fu.
Sure.
So there's, I think, 8 different katas or forms.
Right.
I know in Taekwondo, some Taekwondo organizations only have one form that you learn pieces of between white and black belt.
Yeah.
But this one has like 8 of them.
Okay.
But yeah, forms, patterns, and they all break down to what they call a bunkai application, which is like the realistic application to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, is this a low block? Well, no, it's actually breaking somebody's arm. Okay, well, explain that to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
so
where I started.
If later on, like on camera, would you spar the Rizzler here? I mean,
The Rizzler, who's that?
That's this guy right here.
Him?
Yeah.
Oh, man, look, he looks dangerous, man. He looks dangerous. Like his glasses are front.
Yeah.
This guy's a killer.
I don't do the rough stuff. That's why he's here. That's.
I don't trust him.
So where's your studio?
So right now we're mobile because
you go 2 people?
Correct.
That's
correct.
awesome.
And I work with facilities now, so like senior living facilities. So I teach self-defense to seniors. It's the coolest thing. And I work with realtors because I recently owned a waffle restaurant that I closed. So I closed the waffle restaurant and I launched this brand.
Okay.
So that's this brand is fairly new. So I did that. It's always been my passion because I was selling waffles to individuals and it was nice, but it wasn't. I didn't really have the heart for it.
Yeah.
Like I saw people, coming in.
But I like
enjoying
to
their
eat,
time.
and you're making me want to ask you about the waffles.
It was. I mean, it was good. It was good for business, but at the end of the day, it's like you're feeding these calories to people, and yeah, they're loving it, but in your heart that it's like you're not really selling longevity, and I do better with a membership sort of like building rapport with individuals.
Sure. Yeah.
So I went to my passion. Went back to my passion, which was fitness.
That's awesome.
So the complete opposite direction. But yeah.
No, I
that's
dig
my
it.
thing. Yeah.
So I mean, do you have like one-on-ones?
I do. So like in a personal training setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. No one out there is gonna hold you to this, but I'm just gonna ask. Like, what does it typically cost to have you come out and do like a one-on-one?
So usually it's like $75 an hour.
Okay.
But right now, since we're so new, it's flexible. So around 45 to 50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
super reasonable.
That's like one-on-one.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's for a limited time because it's so new.
You're getting up and going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a super sweet deal right now. But we're working on a brick and mortar facility. Realtors working on that right now, and it's going to be in the spring area. Is what we're looking at.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be awesome. By the time it launches officially, the network and the base will be built up, and the grand opening will be huge.
What part of spring are you going to be in? Are you wanting to be in?
Closer to like right on 99 between, I guess, Woodlands and Kingwood.
Okay.
So in that area, hopefully.
Yeah.
So
That's
like
a good
Spring
spot.
Studener area.
Yeah.
Like close to that area.
That's where my main office is.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
We can talk about that later.
Yeah, of course. I love your hat, by the way, dude.
Oh, thank you.
That's dope. That hat is awesome. I had one.
You had one?
I lost it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how to ride?
No.
No?
Nah, man. I rode a donkey once by accident.
Let me tell you something. That's my kung fu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like riding horses or donkeys?
Oh yeah, horses.
Dude, that's my wife loves Yellowstone.
Oh really?
That's her thing, man. That she eats that up all the time. Like, yeah.
Let me tell you, like, parts of that show are gross. Like no one wants to be those people. Like, other than just owning the land and the wealth, right? Everything else, no one wants.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Those horses in that show, those horses are amazing. I watched that show literally just to see the horses.
Oh man, like the show horses that they took to the actual rodeo.
Dude, those are multi-million-dollar horses.
Yeah.
The guy that produces that show is a horse guy. Taylor Sheridan is a horse fanatic. He knows his stuff. He knows what he's looking at, and he puts his horses in the show. And those are multi-million-dollar horses.
So
They're incredible.
You've gone to the rodeo?
Many times.
Oh, man.
That's how I spent most Saturday nights when I was a kid.
Really?
For sure.
Damn. See, I'm from South Carolina, so I'm not from Texas originally. I didn't even know the rodeo was a thing.
Are you disappointed that there's not coleslaw on the burgers? Are you that sort?
I'm not, man. Coleslaw, man. Whoever made coleslaw, go somewhere else with that mess.
Is that not a thing though? They put coleslaw on the burgers like at McDonald's, right?
I don't eat coleslaw.
But I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like in South Carolina, they put coleslaw on the burgers, though, right? Isn't that a thing? Is it North Carolina where they do that?
It has to be North Carolina.
Okay, yeah.
If they put coleslaw on the burgers in South Carolina, I'm not involved at all. I know they do oysters out there.
I'm down for oysters.
I don't know about oysters on the burgers.
What about like a white sauce?
Oh yeah.
You down for that?
Yeah.
Like some vinegar barbecue?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh man.
There was some guy that was making fun of me earlier. I was like, dude, it's good.
Dude, white sauce? Yeah, I eat that up.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we're getting the signal. Dude, if people are looking to get into some kickboxing and some Krav Maga,
yes.
How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Sensei_Alex or Sensei_Lex is who I am on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm also Alex Gardner on Facebook.
Awesome.
Yep.
Dude, Alex, thank you so much for sitting down with us,
Hey,
bud.
thank you, brother.
Dude, good to meet you, man.
You're awesome.
Yeah. Right back at you. Who we got, Sarah? Come on. I'm just going to awkwardly stare at him until he comes over here. Don't worry. While he's not here, I'm going to put your logo up on the screen. Tell them they can both come over here.
What's going on?
I told her the whole time you didn't come over, I was just going to put her logo up on the screen. What's up, Miss Christy?
How are you?
Good.
Is that mic working?
Yeah, that mic's working. He can turn it up.
Working. Look at that.
We just don't have a headset for you. She's going to have to keep it close to your face there.
Got headset on. I can't hear you.
Did Kevin tell you I saw him?
No.
Somewhere.
Here, let me get
Where is him?
this set up here.
It's not fun without the headset because then I can't really hear myself.
All right.
But
Let's just switch.
this-
Let's just switch. You sit down.
Okay.
What a gentleman.
Isn't he though?
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
Oh yeah, that's so much better.
All right.
Because I really like to hear myself talk.
That's why, interestingly enough, that's why I don't want the headset.
You don't want to hear yourself talk. You don't like the way you I don't like the way you sound either.
Happens.
Yeah.
That's what the drinking's for.
How you guys doing?
Really good. How are you?
Y'all having fun?
Yeah, it's been a great night. There are so many businesses here.
Yeah, it looked like there was a bunch of them.
Familiar faces, unfamiliar faces.
Yeah.
It's been a great night.
I just talked to like a 6th degree master black belt in like Krav Maga. Did you guys see that guy?
See, John's got to stop telling people that. He is not that. He's not even in the right shape for that. He's really got to stop telling people that.
Well, he's going to get jumped in the parking lot if he keeps talking like that.
Gosh.
Yeah. By my girlfriend if he keeps it up. Shoot.
Congratulations on the girlfriend.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the
About
girl?
to-
Is she here?
No.
No.
Is this new?
No. No, it's just a joke.
I was about to say.
Is
I
she
mean, we
real?
just went through
That's-
this whole.
She's real enough, Craig. Next subject. Let's go to the next cue card.
We just went through this whole thing, and he's
Right.
talking about this. He says, "Well, you know, this. She's a really nice lady." I'm like, when you add the word "lady," I feel like it's not a good mix.
Yeah.
I mean, how old is this woman? Like,
She loves the Homeowner Show, by the way. So
well,
we
okay.
are moving
Well,
to the next
she-
cue card.
She must be all right.
Can we press this enter bar on the teleprompter? Let's space bar up a little bit.
That's right. So what's been going on with you guys? Anything fun?
There is a tidal wave of business coming. It has been huge. The amount of people that are at least even interested in doing home renovations in the month of January is far and above anything that I personally have seen in my history doing it.
I mean, I'm one of them, and I'm just trying not to stress you out.
so why is that?
I don't know. I think there's just so many things going on with it being election year, with it being the Fed announcing that the rates might be dropping. There's just so much good out there that it's making an influence on the market, and pretty clear. I don't know if you've seen it in real estate, Christy, but in the home remodeling section, we are far busier in January than we have in years, which is awesome if I didn't make that clear. But it's great. There's a lot of really cool things going on, a lot more people in the market, it seems, which is exciting because, last year was a struggle for a lot of businesses.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there's certain businesses that are probably going to struggle this year as well. I don't know how that's gonna play out. I was just talking to another real estate person just a minute ago, and I had read an article that back in October, the average day on market was like up to like 52 days, and he was telling me he's like it's up to like 80 right now for like average day on market.
It depends.
I would
it
imagine.
depends on where you are. The Woodlands area, it's still multiple offer, and
really
the biggest issue I think in real estate is that we still need inventory. So until
there's no more inventory in the Woodlands. I mean, they're tapped out.
Yeah, there's none. So so the Woodlands is still. If you have a house that is special, that is, it's still going to go quick. I mean, I've put 3 offers in, and 2 of them were multiple offer.
Wow. So, how far away are we in the Woodlands? Because I mean, this is their 50th year, right? And for those that don't, I mean, people listen from across the country. If you don't know what the Woodlands is, just look up the Woodlands, Texas. It's a weird, unique place in Texas.
Number 1 place to live in the United States right now.
Right.
And it's crazy.
But because I know what some of the houses are like in the Woodlands. And like, let's be honest, like some of them are falling down.
Small, itty bitty, 1,500 square foot home that is selling for a ridiculous amount of money.
How and this is opinion. Like I don't think there's any numbers to back this up. But like how far away are we from like a Heights situation where people are literally just buying the property to raise it and then put something new.
They're already there.
They're already there?
So Grogan's, people are buying the property, tearing down the house,
That doesn't
rebuilding
surprise
it.
me at all. I mean, because like some of those houses are just absolute trash
Yeah.
at this point. Not because, again, like they're 50 years old, and some people just haven't taken care of them, and so it's
Yep.
easier to just.
Yep,
But
there's a lot of that.
here's my question is that a lot of those, I mean, they put so many houses and they're just right next to each other, and it's a pretty small house. So, I mean, I guess if you have all the money in the world, then you, buy 2 houses so that you can get 2 lots so that you can actually fit?
That's what they did downtown.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of 70s and 80s homes in and around the Woodlands area that are doing remodels, and when it's done, it looks exactly like one of those HGTV homes that everybody wants, and just like that, it's now, doubled in value. So much so that even areas around the Woodlands are being huge and coming up with a master plan community. Woodforest is coming up, and they're doing a lot of big things right down the road from here. Yeah, down 2978 down there. So there's a lot of people love the Woodlands and need more inventory, so they're trying to do the same exact thing. Bridgeland, Woodforest, I mean, there's a bunch of those master plan communities that think they could do it better than the Woodlands, all around the Woodlands sprouting up. So it's a very, very hot area.
But you mentioned Bridgeland, man, and that's an interest. Have you sold any homes or looked at any homes in Bridgeland?
I haven't sold any, but I went by there like last week. That is it's odd for me. Now, I come from Austin, Texas. I love trees. I love feeling.
Odd is your thing.
I mean, I think that a community should have trees.
Sure.
They have none. I mean,
Right.
they just,
Bulldoze
that
it
is
all.
the flattest land I've ever seen in my life. There is nothing there.
Yeah.
It's like Town Lake.
Yeah,
I think that's what they did. They ran out of houses in Town Lake and took it up to the next spot. There used to be, but I mean, there wasn't even a lot of trees out there to begin with, to be fair. I mean, a lot of that was cow pasture.
That's true. That's true.
But is it like Bridgeland is the one where they have like a lot of lakeside properties, right? Where you can take your
lakeside, but not boat. So Bridgeland has a lot of waterfront property that you're not going to have accessible by boat. And the reason I know this is because I was looking in Bridgeland, and I was like, heck yeah, let's be a part of this movement and going out there. And there's a lot of waterfront access, but you can't put a dock out there. You're not going to be able to have a boat. In Town Lake,
is Town Lake the one with boats?
Yeah, you have boats, and you go up to the boardwalk there.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
And all that stuff. Real cool if you've ever been on 4th of July.
And everybody's got like a pontoon. They can take it over to the Crust Pizza and yeah.
I thought that worked well, so that's why I was excited about Bridgeland. But they're like, no, unfortunately, it's more of just a pond with water features kind of thing instead of.
Well, they're
boats.
getting ready to put in kind of something similar to what they have at the Woodlands Mall. So they're putting in the whole little lake area with the stores around it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I mean, the whole 99 highway thing, I think that's what really transformed that whole thing over there.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Brought a renewed interest to the North Cypress part of town, but also to the northeast side of town. Kingwood, if you take 99 past 59 and you start losing track of civilization, it's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
Cow pasture, and there's nothing. It's not going to take too long to spread that way.
And they have trees.
Well, it's the same thing. Like, have you guys been out to Blue Jack yet?
Where?
Beautiful.
Right? Blue Jack.
Blue Jack?
Yeah.
It's a golf course community.
It's the golf course that Tiger Woods designed.
Right.
Oh.
But it's like on the northwest side of Montgomery. And I have a couple of clients that they literally just have like townhomes out there so that they can golf there. They don't even live there. They don't stay there. They just want places there so they can go golf. But like,
it's not cheap to live there.
No. But then like the custom homes that are in there will blow you away. It is crazy.
Really?
And then there's like all these other communities that are like cropping up around it. I don't know what those look like, but like it's pretty crazy.
Wow.
So, and Sarah's giving me the wrap-up sign. So we haven't gotten to talk to you guys for a long time. We need to come in and like do like a big long episode with.
We do.
Yeah, because we've been talking about doing one with Zeke.
Absolutely.
Because you guys are the kings.
Well, I am. If I'm not mistaken, have we been dethroned? Because I feel like.
No. You guys, I think you guys are still number one.
Okay. Were you the one that was saying that you were up there at the top? Somebody was saying they were up there at the top. I'm like, hold up.
He had other issues.
Yeah, I had other stuff outside of the homeowner show.
Okay.
But I didn't know there was a competition for something because normally I win. So what is this competition?
It's not a competition. So, but if it were, I would be winning.
I can tell you the numbers afterwards, but like they have like the number one downloaded episode of all time.
Really?
Yeah. Her and Zeke.
Okay.
So
you and Zeke together?
Yes.
They did a first-time home buyers episode, which I mean, like.
Interesting. What's the cutoff for the competition?
How
much longer do we have?
No. It's like it's encompassing all time.
I just got this crazy look.
I mean, we can do updates from month to month. I mean, like, I'm fine with that.
We will compete to increase his viewership.
Hang on. Let me give Zeke a call real quick.
Show. You just hold.
All right,
your
so
horses.
we didn't do this on the front end, but like, tell everybody what you guys do. I mean, you guys have both been guests before, but like, people that haven't seen you before, let everybody know what you do and how to get a hold of you.
So, Christy Fennell, I am in residential real estate in the Conroe, Woodlands, North Houston in general area.
Yeah.
With Coldwell Banker.
Awesome.
And I am Adrian Rojas, your cosmetic remodeling specialist. If you need to get hold of me any time of the day, I repeat, any time of the day, you can call me at 832
I feel like you need some backtracks for this.
797-9465. Again, that is 832-797-9465. You call me with whatever your needs are.
All right. That was like the late night DJ voice.
Right?
You just wait. Game on.
He's pumping those downloads is what he's doing. He's trying.
That's a good word for it.
Where
Craig.
have I seen this Adrian guy before?
We are pumping up this game.
I'm a little frightened right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't. Okay.
You should hear all the taglines I've got going on in my head.
You're looking for flooring clients.
Flooring, I've got all
it's
the
a
flooring
homeowner
you would
show.
need. If you have any need for any kind of hardwood that's out there, I've got it. Flooring,
This is a
cabinets,
family-friendly.
countertops, painting. You want it? I promise you, I've got it.
Oh my gosh.
Things just got interesting,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
they?
You are.
Real quick.
We may need to renegotiate the.
You're laying it up. I'm knocking it down.
So with that, Craig, I would certainly like to thank you for having us on your
Yep,
show.
Very
there goes
welcome.
that episode.
Adrian, you'll be receiving my restraining order.
Oh my gosh.
Well, thanks for having us on.
The lines just started lighting up.
That's right.
So.
Isn't that great? It's that time of the night.
No, it's the FBI right here.
Cheers,
Yeah, right. There they are.
Thank you guys.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you guys. All right, again, thank you to Lone Star Appliance Repair for sponsoring this episode. Great appliance repair company, one of our favorites. They've come and repaired many appliances in my home. We have great appliances. They just, sometimes they get a little knock in them, and they need some love and care. So we give Lone Star Appliance Repair a call. We give them a call at 936-647-2364. Man, we are at almost 2.5 hours, Rizzler. Are you tired yet? You ready for like 3 more? He's got it in the tank. We're good to go. Is it JoJo time? Come on, girl. Are you my last one?
Hi, Mom. I made it. Yeah.
You've arrived.
Hey. Hi, friends.
How you doing?
Hi, friends. How's your night, Ben?
Oh my gosh! I was just telling him let me fix the camera real quick.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, did I break it?
No. I had to put it in a wide frame for Adrian.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's okay. You got this.
There we go. There.
Okay.
All right. Can you hear okay, or do you need the headphones?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I'll try
Cool.
to keep close.
I just don't know with like the music and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, you're good.
What's been going on?
Not much. Just having a level up event.
The founder of the feast.
Yeah. It's weird when people say that and like introduce me as that. And even though like technically it's true, I'm the scapegoat that pays taxes on this thing.
Yeah.
I really feel like it's y'all. I'm nothing without y'all. Essentially. Like I don't need
just me though, right?
Just you.
Okay.
You heard it here first. I don't need our members to push the net.
Right.
I need you to push yourself because when you shine, I shine.
Right.
That's my end goal. Is networking provided that for me.
Right.
Like my version of success was being able to stay at home with my daughter, not necessarily have to worry about finances, and that came from the fact we were in a networking group and we do this. Y'all support my husband's AC company so that I can do this. You know? Yeah.
This event that we're at, I mean, I don't know how many people we had here tonight. Do you have any idea?
I will know later tonight when I check like registrations and stuff, but easily over 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because when the other one that you and I were in kind of internally collapsed, there was 5 of us?
Yes.
Yeah. And like we just kind of all hung in there.
Yes.
And then
it was so crazy. I was telling someone about that. I said we went for almost 2 years of no umbrella to put ourselves under. We just, you're my pest control guy.
Yep.
They're my health insurance agent, my this, my that, and the other. Like I just trust and believe in y'all. We've had 4 kids, like between all the people were having babies, people were losing close loved ones, and it was trauma bonded isn't the right word, but
it's fair. It's fair.
Truly, and then I have so many best friends that I love and adore, but when I say, I don't know, are they a 1099 or are they a W-2? They're like, what?
Yeah.
But like, you know that answer because you're in it. I needed to surround myself and make myself a room of people that could help build me up, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you know this probably better than anybody, but like how much of a game changer is having a close-knit group of like-minded people?
Changed my entire life.
Yeah.
Not a corny, cliche, like sell gimmick. No, like this changed my entire life. Yeah.
Yeah. In a good way.
No, yeah, for sure. And I'm like crying. I'm like, it's terrible, guys. No.
Hopefully a good way.
It changed my daughter's life to be able to spend that time with her because a lot of my fellow working moms, like they don't get that opportunity necessarily.
Yeah.
And I just really want to, I've got the tools. I will give them to you. Whether you use them or not is up to you.
Yeah.
There will be members that come and go that are like, I didn't get anything out of this. That's okay. You either didn't put anything into it or we're just not your right fit. And that doesn't take away like they're good, we're bad, we're good, they're bad. It's just like finding the right network, you know?
So, I mean, like, I'm going to ask you this because, like, I want you to speak to it because I have zero perspective on it because I'm not a woman, right?
You heard it here first.
No, officially declaring that my pronouns are exactly what they look like. But like, I think what you're expressing is a lot of what a lot of women want, is to be able to have a family, but also be able, and I don't want to say like contribute, but like be part of like the workforce. They want to have a career. They want to do something. And like, I think a lot of that seems unattainable to so many of them. And so they end up feeling like they have to choose one or the other. And so like, how difficult is it to find the tools to be able to accomplish that?
That's a great question. I think I got lucky with having my in-laws live so close and like being able to help watch Stella, my daughter.
Yeah.
It's difficult because when I am working, sometimes I kind of like click back in. I'm like, oh my God, just missed bath time, just missed read a book time. But then when I'm with her, after I put her down to bed, I'm like, well, God, I need to get all this stuff done.
Yeah.
Like, it's finding the balance.
The spaces in between.
Yeah. Because when I'm with my daughter, like at the very beginning, I was not present with her like I should have been. Like, because she's still like a blab at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So I just like, she fell asleep on me and I answered emails and worked.
Right.
But now that she's like a human, you know?
Yeah.
When
it's
I'm
like talking
with
back
her,
to you.
that's a whole nother episode. Craig, just this morning, we got in a huge drag out. Not huge.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to wear high heels to school.
Of course.
Like, this is every day, but this one, like,
Grizzler, you can relate, right?
It matched her pants. It matched her, like, uniform. Like, she was looking cute.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, no, like, I'm wearing these. And I said, you can't. She wore them all the way to the parking lot of the school. And I brought her tennis shoes to change in there. And she still was like, no. Help me. But no, I really love that for her. Like, I do. It'll be fine. Back to what you were talking about.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. It's, God bless stay-at-home moms for one.
Sure.
Their contribution, which not everyone sees it this way, that, you know, we're older, but the way I see it is that if you weren't doing those things at home, your partner, your spouse, your husband, or your wife couldn't go to work and make that money and keep it like a cohesive unit.
Right.
I forgot who told me this, but I heard one time that, like, in marriage, someone is the picture and someone is the frame. And seldom do you get to play the same role at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
You know?
for sure.
So for a long time, I was the frame for Jehu. When he opened up his AC company, I'm still his number one, like, affordable air repair, 936-446-9329. We'll help you out in the North Houston area.
Yeah.
But at that point, he was the picture, I'm his frame, and I felt a switch to, like, right now, he's at home with our daughter, you know, and I get to be the picture for a little bit, so it's just kind of doing that dance.
Yeah.
With the supportive spouse.
What's a good relationship is when you can swap those roles.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not do it with any sort of like animosity or like
No,
or jealousy or, you know, all those kinds of things. Like, okay, now you go do that, and
Yeah.
I can be here and do this.
I feel like you and Brandy are really good at that too.
Oh, we're pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, but like we're also just like really flexible. I mean, like.
But the reason you can be flexible is because you own your own business,
Sure.
and that you're able to, like, it's just, there's nothing better. Like, for me, that's my success, is flexibility.
Yeah.
You know? Like, if my daughter wants to play hooky from school one day,
Yeah.
let's do it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, that's part of, like, why we do life the way that we do life, is because
Yeah.
we want to have the freedom to make our own decisions, to not be, like, held under, like, the thumb of any sort of, like, entity telling us, like, where our children have to be or where we have to be or any of this. Like, we're willing to make less money to have more freedom.
Yes. Amen.
So, but, like, honestly, it doesn't usually work out that way. Like, usually if you're willing to have a level of freedom, eventually you'll make more money.
Yeah.
Because, like, you'll pursue freedom, and freedom usually means that you need money in order to do it, and so you'll do the things to make the more money so that you can have more freedom.
Yeah. And it's a lot of, like, long nights. Like, after we would put her to bed, we would go back into the office. There are definitely nights like that. It's not.
Which is,
I don't want to glorify
that's when
it,
the real
but-
work happens.
Yeah, right? Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So it's just been, like, a lot of learning and growing and figuring out my identity.
Sure.
Not to be, like, corny, but,
No,
like,
I think it's.
when I had Stella, I couldn't help it being like, oh my God, like, I'm a mom. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I started doing it. I was like, I need, like, an identity outside of myself or my relationship to other people. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which probably sounds selfish, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Truly.
Look, I mean, like, there is a certain level of selfishness and greed that is healthy.
Yes.
And there's a lot of it that's very unhealthy.
Yes.
Right? But, like, there's a certain degree of it that's, like, really good because it promotes in you the things that are healthy for your family and for your loved ones.
Yeah.
And creating, systems and processes that protect them.
Yeah.
And you. And I'm not like a big proponent of like selfishness at all.
Yeah.
But like there's a certain amount of it that's like, okay, like this is that in me is not just for me. It's for those around me that I love and I want to protect and provide for.
Yes. If I don't get time in the every day, whether morning, middle, night, whatever, to like literally sit in sweatpants or a big husband t-shirt.
Sure.
And either like play a word game on my phone or just like read a book.
Right.
I'm not as nice of a mom or a wife,
Sure.
So like really, I'm doing this for you, Bill.
Well, no, really. I mean, like you can't bring your best unless you've provided the best for yourself.
Yes.
In order to prepare to do those things.
Yeah.
And like you can't, as a sick person, be healthy.
Right.
For the ones that you want to provide a healthy environment for.
Yeah, and I don't want my daughter to like, because she is on me like white on rice. Like she'll say some things, I'm like, wait a second, you weren't supposed to hear that, girl. Like, who are you? But I just like I'm so conscious of being a good example for her as a strong woman because it's really important, you know.
Yeah.
I don't see any other way. I don't want her to have to struggle as much as I did.
Yeah. So I will tell you one of the beautiful things about doing a show like this, and I said this to a group of entrepreneurs once. They were all very successful, but none of them were in like the content creating area.
Sure.
And I said to them, like one of the things that I'm most excited about having done this show for such a long time is that my kids are going to be able to look back and see what Dad was like throughout the years, And so like what you're saying right now, I'm thinking like, okay, so like what is Stella going to look at and think about that in 20 years?
I think about that all the time.
And so it's like what like right now
all the time.
And I think it's going to be so cool for her to hear that she may not remember being alive at this time.
Yeah.
Because she's what? How?
3.
3?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything from when I was 3.
Hell no.
But like she can look back and go like when I was 3, my mom said this, and this is what she was trying to provide for me. And this is what like the times that I thought about her and like when I was angry with her when I was 15.
Sure.
And now that I'm 25, I'm looking back and like this is what she wanted for me.
Yeah.
Like this is what she was striving towards for me. This is what my mom and dad wanted. Like that's gonna be like that's an experience that like you and I don't get with our parents.
No.
Because like they may have had like a VHS camcorder, but like it sucked and nobody got any sound. And but like now there's so much stuff that they're gonna be able to go back and look at and see what we were like.
Yeah, we don't have to go on a big tangent, but I wonder if this current version of technology will even be accessible. Like it's going to be like microfiche. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what microfiche is? No. Thank you. Exactly. So.
Point, JoJo.
Will they even have access to see all of the things? I'm glad you brought this up because I went on Shutterfly. If you want to sponsor, reach out to Craig. Shutterfly and made like little books for each year of her life so far. So there's only 2. We're working on the 3rd because we gotta wait till it's all the way done. It's a whole, but like of like pictures of her because God forbid my phone that's the only way I have it right now is on my phone, and if it's gone, it's gone.
Right.
You can't get that back.
Nope.
So I made little scrapbooks of her.
Hey, can you get this guy's attention right here?
The hood?
Yeah. He needs to come sit down with us. You haven't met him yet, but you need to. No, not. I'm sorry, I saw somebody else. There he is, right over there. Yeah. He's sitting over there by himself. Were you gonna sit down?
Yeah.
Right there.
Hang out with us.
Come on, JoJo. Let me see if he's in the shot. Not quite. All right, hang on.
Scoot them closer. We can. Oh, I don't
All
want
right.
to knock this over. Okay.
Good grief, y'all. It's getting close to 9 o'clock.
I know. Craig,
All right.
we could talk to you all night, though. Don't tempt me.
All right, so introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are. He's not turned up. Hang on, start over because he didn't have you turned up.
I'm Michael Ward with eXp Realty.
Okay.
I'm on the Paul Edwards team. So.
Awesome. And so, like, how long you been at this?
About 2 years.
2 years. How long you been here tonight?
Been here tonight?
Yeah.
Since about 7.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you meet anybody?
Yeah, I met a ton of people, actually. So.
Have you met
He
JoJo?
told me he was a realtor. I paraded him around to all of our
Oh, did you really?
I basically got
So, do you
pointed
mean
at
electrician?
everybody. So, yeah.
I'm an AC person. What about a power wash? Did you meet the home inspection? Like, yeah.
So I got chauffeured around.
There you go.
But I met a lot of people.
This is my boy right here.
I thought he was telling me.
Yeah, dude, I was super happy that you came.
Yeah, I know. I was a little late, and so I saw you already
No,
on the
there's
podcast.
no like time to be. Yeah, you're
No,
fine.
yeah, but I was like, well, this is my only in to meeting anybody. So I was kind of standing off to the corner for a minute, like, well, darn, when is he gonna get up for a second?
No, it's not gonna happen.
It's all good.
Not on these nights.
It's all good.
Yeah. Dude, did you have a good time?
Yeah, no, this was awesome.
Awesome.
So I've never been to a network event like this before. I've been to like seminars and stuff. But, like, this was.
Isn't that amazing?
See? Yeah.
First of all, 20 years old. Knows one person, can't even talk to him the whole night. Started his own business, becoming a realtor, and went to a networking event.
Yeah.
Like solo dolo. That's impressive.
It is.
At 20 years old, I was a degenerate. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you.
No, truly, like I was not doing these things at 20. I was
I
in
probably could
college
have
drinking.
I probably could have been promoted to degenerate. Yeah, that would have been a promotion. Yeah.
Took me a second. I got there.
Yeah.
That's funny. But
Dude.
that's amazing.
Thank
Good for you.
Yeah, I definitely get I just kind of go where people tell me. And that's kind of what I've learned is like,
There you
kind
go.
of do what you see other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Dude, like one of the best lessons I ever learned, early on, was there's successful people around you.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, if you will just ask them how they did what they did, they are so excited to tell you, and that someone asked them how they did it. And so, like, if you can just like hang out with successful people and just ask them questions, like you will receive well more than you ever got in a college education.
Yeah.
And again, like, I went to college, have an undergrad, have a master's degree. I think all that's great. But like having conversations with people about how they did the things that you actually want to do with your life is so much different. That's a real conversation. That's real information. That's different than what you can read in just about any book.
Right.
You know, and so just like hanging out with those people is just so valuable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, definitely.
yeah. And I'm sure you have like other like real estate people around you that you like.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like would say I mostly spend my time networking with other realtors.
Yeah.
Or, like realtors and like lenders would be the biggest ones.
For sure.
But like meeting other people is definitely very helpful.
Yeah.
And so I mean it's just kind of hard to like I don't normally run into like plumbers and electricians walking
Right,
around.
yeah, of
I do
course.
run into lenders because they just like I think they can just like smell the realtor and they know that I'm a realtor or something, and so they're like, this is I got to get in with him. But like plumbers and electricians and roofing guys and stuff like that, like they're all
For sure.
people I need to know. But I
Yeah.
don't have an
You
opportunity.
need to know the right ones too.
Yeah,
Especially if you're like standing in a house and like clients like, well, I don't know how to take care of this. Like, like you need to be able to go like, well, I know the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most like
Or
when
gal.
you're
Yeah.
with the brokerage, like
same.
they kind of just throw you like a list of people, like they're their preferred lenders.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I mean they'll come and meet with you and stuff, but like it's not very organic.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
it's just kind of it's almost like having a substitute teacher come in. Like you don't really know a whole lot about them. You just kind of
That's a good way to put it.
meet them
Yeah.
a little bit. So.
Dude. So I mean, like, what if I'm actually interested because you're a younger guy than most of the real estate agents that we get to have on the show.
Yeah.
Like, what are you seeing in the market right now that is surprising to you?
Great question.
I mean, I feel like I came in at like the tail end of like the post-COVID crazy where we had like 3% interest rates and like people coming in from out of state with like just bukus of money and like and buying houses at crazy prices. And so like at that time was when I was getting my license, and I got it like the very tail end of that. So I was I walked out of the office, I'm like, oh, awesome, I'm gonna make so much money, and then it just died.
Oh no.
The market just kind of, it didn't tank, but it slowed down a lot. So I think when I started, the people I started with have like all quit. Like they're, of the class I was with, I think there's like one person who's still left out of like the 12.
Wow.
And so like the people that are sticking with it, I think we're all seeing like it's coming back up.
Yeah.
And the reason is like the market itself, like nothing really changed with the housing. We got more volume, but we also had more buyers. So like that didn't change. What changed was people saw the interest rates and were like, oh, well, it's 7%, but Aunt Bessie got hers for
$2
pennies.
Yeah.
And so like
right.
they're waiting for it to come back down. I think what we're seeing now is like people are finally starting to like realize that, okay, we're not getting 3% interest rates back anytime soon, or even in the near future. And so that was honestly surprising for me because it was pretty rough, like seeing like every time I had a conversation, it was when are the interest rates coming back down?
Yeah.
And now it's kind of shifting more towards like, oh, where are the new homes at? And it's like, so the conversation is more like people are actually interested in it again.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
So it's not, I wouldn't say it's crazy right now, but I think it's gonna get a lot better pretty soon. So.
Persistence overcomes resistance.
For every time.
Every time. If you don't quit, it will happen.
Yeah.
It already is.
I mean, the fact that like you're
12,
you're the one left standing out of 12.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of the goal. Was like I was like, well, I think if everybody's quitting and I just stick through it, then like I mean, for a brief period of time, I'll have really low competition, and I'll know what I'm doing at least a little bit more than the people who are like, oh, it's back up, I'm gonna get my license again, or get my license for the first time. So.
Dude, there's a lot of people that will jump into it when the market's hot.
Yeah.
And because they think it's easy money.
And it's literally the opposite.
Yes.
Real estate is one of the hardest, like.
But you're playing.
Would never.
You're playing what I would call the bear in the woods game.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with bear in the woods?
No.
No, I have no idea.
No?
Yeah, tell us about it.
The objective is I don't have to outrun the bear.
Oh yeah.
I just have to outrun you.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
And so like that's pretty much the game that you're playing. It's like I don't have to outrun the bear.
Yeah.
I just got to wait for all you suckers to quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially because like I mean.
That's great.
To the benefit of being young as a realtor has a lot of like cons, but one of the benefits is like I don't have a family support. I don't have any college loans. I'm not like hard pressed for a ton of like money to support a bunch of people. And so people who joined, like for instance, like the class I had when I first started was like a lot of them were like business owners beforehand, and they either sold their business or like hired a manager and like were just like disconnecting themselves from it because they thought, okay, now's the time I'm gonna make a bunch of money in real estate and like either take off or like just go back to my fallback.
Yeah.
And so for them it was like they have a certain amount of time that they can last without being in their old position with that income.
Sure.
And so like I mean I outlasted them just because I'm cheap. Like that's pretty much how it works. Like
Yeah.
So I think definitely persistence is
it's everything.
It's the long game.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Have they changed the laws yet on your ability to negotiate your rate?
Interesting.
I don't, as far as I'm aware, no.
No, so you can still
I know
negotiate that?
there's been some lawsuits, but I don't think any sort of...
I know there's some big lawsuits, but
there's some big lawsuits, but I don't think any sort of laws have been put in place. I know that some of the brokerages have changed some of their, like, not rules, but kind of like the way they coach people on it. But I don't think it's affected anything yet. And I might honestly be wrong. Keeping up with stuff in real estate,
it's constantly changing right now. So I mean, like by the time like this comes out, it could have changed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not holding you to it at all. But I'm just curious, like what your experience has been.
From my experience, no, nothing has changed in my sphere.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah, I know that for sure they won't change like the negotiable commission. They might just transparency laws, maybe something like that. But I don't foresee them like changing the actual like being able to negotiate a commission.
I hope they don't. I really don't.
Hope not. Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a lot of guys out there making a big fuss about it, but I really hope they don't.
I've got to help somebody.
Yeah. Go do your thing. Well, I'm getting
to
the.
meet you.
Yeah, good meeting you too.
So, I mean, did you give everybody your contact?
Affordable Air Repair, give us a shout. Dryer vent cleaning, duct cleaning. If you're fighting with your spouse, this room is too hot or too cold, we're your people.
Thank you, JoJo.
Thank you.
And how do people get a hold of you, bud? If they want to sell, buy, what? Yeah.
My email is just Michael Ward at exprealty.com. And that's about it. It's the best way to get a hold of me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Dude, thank you so much for sitting down.
Thank you.
Oh, well, you'll shake on that. Yeah. Glad you came, bud.
Thank you.
Am I talking to you?
It's National Plan for Vacation Day.
Of course. Well, then we need to talk.
Huh?
We need to talk.
We need to talk. I thought we needed to scoot out.
Say what?
Don't we need to scoot? Like, what time is it?
No, I don't care.
You'll be here all night. We can talk about vacation all night, right?
Rizzler's got to pack it all up when we're done. I mean, it's just
No, I'm good.
Do you want to?
It's up to you.
Come on. Do you want to put the headset on?
Do I need to? I can
If you want to hear yourself.
I don't want to hear myself.
All right. Well, just make sure it's close enough.
Are we close enough?
Yeah. Here, let me.
I think so. Can you hear me? Where's Sarah?
Where's Sarah?
Yeah, she's behind me.
So what?
Sarah is behind me.
Oh, okay. Is this my last one?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you ready to go home? Is that what you're telling me?
She's ready to go home. So we'll make it really, really super short.
Okay.
And we'll just say it's National Plan for Vacation
It is
Day.
National Plan for Vacation Day.
It is.
Yeah. And so where are people wanting to go?
Actually, right now, everybody's big thing is Europe. So booking a lot of...
All right, real quick. Let everybody know who you are. I mean, I know you've been on the show before, but there's people that haven't seen you. I know that's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe. It is hard to believe. So I am Mary Ann with Memory Making Vacations, where from the mountains to the Maldives to obviously the magic of Disney, we plan and you pack. So we do all-inclusives, we do cruises, and we do custom Europe itineraries, and obviously Disney and Universal.
No. We can't talk about that, right?
I mean, here's the thing. We love Disney. We've been booking Disney for a really long time.
I love Disney. I've grown up around Disney. I send people to Disney all the time.
Yeah. Stayed at every resort on property, go multiple times a year. We pretty much, people think we get our mail at Disney, right? Like, that's kind of the thing.
I kind of believe that, yeah.
Yeah, probably so. But, Universal does have some pretty epic things coming up in the summer. I couldn't resist, right? I couldn't resist. With, the Epic Universe is going to be, actually, it's a little bit south of Universal Orlando, so it's actually a little bit closer to Disney property. So it is supposed to open summer 2025, and so right now I already book a lot of combo trips with Universal Disney for families. So it will...
it is surprising how many people want to do both.
It is, and, the thing is that Universal's done some really... smart things they have a shuttle. So, Disney did away with Magical Express. You do have to pay for the shuttle with Universal to their resorts, but it's still available, and it's a dedicated Universal shuttle.
Is Magic Express just completely gone?
Pretty much.
Really?
The Mears contract, right? So Mears is still running it. You can still take the Sunshine Flyer and all, but as far as Magical Express is concerned, they're kind of done with that.
That's so disappointing.
I know.
I was one of my favorite things, honestly.
Well, the other thing, though, that Universal does is they actually have an option where they will pick you up at your Disney resort and take you to their park.
Of course they will.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. So, Epic Universe is actually going to be a little bit closer than Universal is, Orlando is right now. So, and you've got the basically the entrance, which is the Celestial Park, but then you have the 4 lands. So you've got the Dark Universe, the Mario, Harry Potter, and
Dragons.
I know you're so excited
How to Train a Dragon. Yeah.
And then they are going to have a hotel.
But that was the part that seemed the most unique to me. Is the hotel is actually integrated into the park.
Right. I've only seen the drawings like everybody else, right? I've only seen the concept art, but it kind of almost reminds me of in Disneyland at California Adventure, where you have the Grand Californian Hotel that you just walk out the back door right into the park. You don't have to go back through the front. You
Which
just
sounds
literally
incredible.
walk out.
Yeah.
Right. You just literally walk out of your resort into California Adventure. So
Well, let me ask you this, because there was something when I watched the video for the what is it called? Universal Epic.
Epic Universe.
Epic Universe. Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay, the way they said it was like, okay, we're gonna have 5 different parks.
Well, it's what they. So we're going to compare it to the world, right? Where you have different lands.
Okay, so it's gonna be like Fantasyland, Adventureland.
Right.
Okay, it's gonna be
So
like that.
you have like
it's
the
one park,
celestial-
but it's like
Yeah, you have like the Celestial Park is your entrance, right? So you're going to enter through the Emerald Gate, right? And you're
Right.
going to have these different lands that you go to.
Uh-huh.
And then the hotel is in the back.
Right. Okay.
Kind of in the middle. You got 2 lands on each side, and then the entrance in the front.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm like, look, here's the thing. Disney has always been my favorite.
Right.
Like, not. It's not even like a contest. I love Disney.
Right.
I love Disney. One of the things that I've been telling people for years that I think where Universal has gotten an edge on them, and I think Disney's trying to catch up, but where I think Universal has an edge is it's funner to stand in line at Universal than it is at Disney. Now, I think they have started to up their game.
Right.
You know, like when you start looking at Flights of Passage, like super fun to stand in line. You start looking at the Snow White Seven Dwarfs ride.
Seven Dwarfs, and then you've got Rise of the Resistance.
Yes,
and
all
you've got
those-
other things. Soarin', where you have the interaction and the
Yes.
queue and those kind of things, right?
Yeah, and
right.
they've even like upgraded like the Peter Pan line.
Yeah.
You know, like you have
Guardians is pretty cool.
Well, I haven't been on the island, so don't rub it in.
You've got to go. It's amazing.
So
I
I haven't even ridden Ratatouille yet. It's just
have
been.
you done Mickey Minnie's Runaway?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the same concept, just you're a mouse in Remy's in the kitchen.
Okay.
So you're just like mouse size running under all of the kitchen
Yeah.
appliances and things like that, and being
Yeah.
chased. And I mean, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Same concept though. Same that trackless ride.
Yeah, I do think the Mickey's Runaway Railway is a very underrated ride.
Yeah.
It's
Although
just-
I don't know, I've seen the lines for it. Sometimes it's up there.
Well,
so.
no, it's up there, but like for what it, because it opened around the same time as like some of the Star Wars stuff.
Right.
You know, I don't think it
Right.
got the love that it deserved.
Correct.
But I'm also still like a little offended that they took away the great movie ride. So
I was about to ask, how do you feel? And I mean, that's a thing too. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, great movie ride." But
Why couldn't we just have both? I don't understand.
What do you
But-
think about Country Bears being gone now?
Is it gone now?
Yeah, they just had their last show the other
Really?
night. They did.
Were they replacing
did.
it with something?
They are. Don't know what, but they are. I mean, it'll be another show, but they're the old, original is gone.
Okay,
Oh,
so like,
I know.
okay, look, that whole area over there, I'm mad about. So like,
Right.
like I'm mad that like Splash Mountain.
Mountain is now Tiana's. Yeah. It's okay. I can almost tolerate that more than I can them taking my Country Bears away, though, to be honest with you.
Well, like, look, I have. I'll have to show it to you sometime. I have like a first edition of like the Uncle Remus Disney book.
Oh wow.
Where like it's written phonetically.
Okay.
So like when you read it, you sound like Uncle Remus.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like I grew up reading those stories to my kids.
Oh.
And I love those stories.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if you've ever read like the original stories of Uncle Remus, like the ones that he
Yeah.
transcribed.
Oh wow.
They're beautiful stories, like
Yeah.
part of American culture. I'm just frustrated that like that's being like, and I don't want to get into like all the political stuff of it, but I'm just frustrated that like it's being taken away
Right.
as part of like Americana.
I get it.
And I get that there's aspects of it that are like offensive and problematic and all that kind of stuff, but like they still like those are like really good stories that like,
Right.
don't exist anywhere else.
Right.
That come from that culture, and like they're so good.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is an interesting, the direction that things are going and the direction that they're taking with things. But I mean, they've made some really good changes too. And I mean, we were just in Epcot month ago, and the new area is beautiful.
Is that the Moana stuff? Is that
so? Moana Journey of Water. It's basically like a big splash pad, I guess. Yeah, I mean,
is it up and running? Right?
It's beautiful. Yeah, no, it's open.
Is the whole front part all done now?
So the front of the park is, and then there's that little area in the back where the fountains were. You know, when you had Innovations East and West. So right there, it's very much like a park looking. So you have like long tables. They've got outlets to charge your phones. They've got another area that's just encased in like flora that's got Adirondack chairs, and you can just sit and hang out. I mean, it's very peaceful. They have a statue of Walt sitting on a bench.
Yeah.
You can sit next to Walt and have the Epcot ball behind you. And
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's very quiet. It's a very cool area. They've got some places over there that look like they're going to put in some like quick service dining type stuff, so you could grab your food and sit and eat at a bench at a table. And it's a pretty neat area. It's a pretty neat area.
I've always loved Epcot.
Yeah.
I mean, like this. I mean, like for me, for like just me and my wife to hang out, like that's my favorite. For
Drinking
sure.
around the world, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Food and Wine Festival, baby.
Food and wine, right? Start in Mexico. I would probably make it to China, and I'd be done.
You're starting on the wrong side. You need to
right? Yeah.
Oh man.
I can't hang with those people. But,
no, you're telling me stuff I didn't even know. I mean, that's awesome. I didn't even know that stuff was done now. It's been such a long time since I've been at this. I think it's been like 2 years since I've been.
You need to go back.
No.
You need to go back.
Well,
so,
maybe I need to talk to somebody about it. Who knows how to get me over there.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's somebody that books Disney travel.
There's got to be somebody that could help me.
Probably so. Yeah, but so Disney is obviously always big. This year, Italy and Greece have been huge. I've done a lot of custom
talking about like the actual
itineraries,
countries.
the actual countries.
We're moving beyond fantasy into this.
Germany, France, Germany, Italy, Greece, Spain. Those are really, really big this year. I've already booked 11 of them so far this month. Just building custom itineraries where I go in and I talk to people about what they want to see, what's important, what they want to do. We built some custom where they do a land and sea, so maybe they fly into Venice and do a cruise down to Rome and spend a few days down there, and we build that kind of a thing in so they can see everything. So I've done a lot of that kind of stuff. That's been really, really, really popular, even more than all-inclusives, which usually it's cruises all-inclusives.
For sure, yeah.
But especially cruises with the new Jubilee that just came out and had its inaugural sailing from Galveston. That's the Carnival ship in December. Of course, the Icon just made its inaugural sailing, so it's the new biggest city on sea, I guess, royal ship. So there's so many new ships that are coming out. So cruises are picking back up, and all-inclusives to me I'm not seeing as many bookings. I'm seeing just more custom Europe things right now, which is interesting. Alaska sailings are picking back up a little bit, but
are you seeing more people wanting to go to the bigger ships, or are you seeing more of a trend to go to the smaller ships?
People with families are really liking the larger ships just because of the number of amenities they offer, especially if you've got a lot of children and there's a wide age range just for things for them to do. Like, I mean, they've got zip lines and wave machines and arcades and carousels and you name it. I mean, so right now it's really easy for families to take their kids on the ship. The kids programs are phenomenal. And they can leave them, parents can leave them at the kids program and go hang out by the pool, right? So hang out in the solarium, those kind of things. So they're gaining some popularity. The smaller ships, I found that my older couples like me, like us old people, we, with empty nesters, right? Celebrity has an amazing brand and amazing design with their balcony staterooms right now with the infinite edge balconies. So those are gaining in popularity with people maybe more my demographic, but as far as families with kids still, they're looking at Disney and Royal Caribbean and even Carnival mostly right now.
On some of the smaller ones, what are the more interesting ones that you guys have access to? What are like some unique locations that people maybe not even be thinking of that like could be interesting?
So the thing about some of like the smaller ships is that they can get into ports that the larger ones can't.
Right.
So you end up like sometimes even with like your Southern Caribbean sailings, like your St. Kitts and St. Martin and those where they've got maybe a little bit smaller ports, it's easier for the smaller ships to get in. Although I will say that I have seen some bigger ships get into those ports now. So I think that at this point, everybody's just like the cruise lines really like the bigger ships with the more people on them, and so I think that I'm not seeing as many small ships.
Yeah.
You know, bookings. Disney has the Wonder and the Magic, which are their smaller ones, and they go out of Galveston, and those sailings do book up.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they do the Western Caribbean,
Right.
so they're going to do Cozumel and Costa Maya and that kind of thing. But
which I mean, I'll plug that. I mean, if you've never done like Western Caribbean and done like a cenote tour, those are super cool.
no, they really are.
I mean,
They really are.
yeah.
So when are we booking that one for you?
Listen, like here's the problem is like I've done so many cruises now. Like the one cruise the only reason I want to do this cruise is because I think it's the only way I can get my wife to go.
Okay.
Is because I want to go to Alaska.
Yeah.
But like I don't. Here's my problem. I don't want to go to Alaska to go on a cruise.
Okay.
I want to go to Alaska and I want to see the caribou migration.
Okay.
That's what I want to go see.
Okay.
But like
Interesting.
I don't like so like but that's like camping.
Right. Well, a lot of people that want to go to Alaska, though, like they want to see the Aurora Borealis, right? So
Sure.
that's a big thing.
I'd be down for that.
I tell you what you need to look into.
Uh-huh.
It's called the Borealis Base Camp.
Okay.
They are igloos. And you pick 3 or 4 nights, and
I'd
they
be
take
alone.
you dog sledding. But they're beautiful, so they're not like igloos, but you've got like the glass dome, so you can see the sky at night.
that's
You
so
have
cool.
a day going dog sledding, another day going snowmobiling.
Uh-huh.
They take you out to see the Northern Lights, and then they feed you. And I mean, it's just a beautiful experience, and it's not that expensive. They pick you up from the airport, they take you.
Yeah.
You spend 3 nights, and then you can
Yeah,
add
see-
on before or after.
I've talked to some guys about some of the stuff that like that what I want to do in Alaska.
Right.
It's not the stuff my wife wants to do. I'd have
ice
to go do
fishing?
it.
Are you doing ice fishing?
No. I mean, like I would probably do it if it was there, but like
Right,
it's not
right.
something I would go seek out.
Gotcha. Okay.
But like some of the stuff that I want to go do, like people are telling me like, look, you're gonna have to hire like a bush pilot.
Okay.
You know, and it's like that's like $1,500 one way. And it's like, golly. I mean,
Well, you know.
but that's just the stuff that I want to go see. Like,
Yeah.
But like, if I could go with my wife on a cruise to go see some of it,
Oh yeah.
I'd be down for it.
Oh, for sure.
So, just to get to go see it because I've never been. It's one of those places like I think you need to see before like you exit.
Right.
Whatever this place is.
Right. Well, and you know, I mean, Princess does an amazing job in Alaska. Princess has got a really good itinerary. They've got some really unique features about some of the way they do their.
Are they the only one doing
sailings.
Alaska stuff?
Oh no, you've got Royal, you've got Carnival, you've got Holland America.
Princess is the nice one.
Princess, you've got Disney.
Yeah,
does-
I mean, not to say the other ones aren't nice.
Oh no, they're great. They're amazing.
But like, if you
They're
want like
all
the,
amazing.
if you want the,
Princess just, and I mean, Celebrity does them. Princess just seems to be kind of their niche, right? Like when you think of the Caribbean, you think of Royal Caribbean, right?
Sure, yeah.
When you think of Alaska, I think the first cruise line that comes to my mind is Princess. And I
Yeah.
probably shouldn't say that because I booked them all and I love them all and they're
Sure.
all great. And I think everybody that travels a lot has a different. Everybody's gonna have a different perspective,
Right.
but I do like the way Princess does Alaska.
Yeah.
A lot, I think.
Awesome.
So-
Well, listen,
We are way late. Talking.
No, that's fine. I enjoyed talking to you. That's why I wanted to keep going.
So.
How do people get a hold of you if they want to book a great vacation?
Absolutely. So you can find me on Facebook. It's Memory Making Vacations. Website, memorymakingvacations.com.
Mm-hmm.
And call, text 936-689-9879, or you can email me at marianne@travelmmb.com. That's it.
Fantastic.
Find me anywhere.
Awesome.
So
Thank you for sitting down
usually in a ship.
and geeking out about some Disney stuff and
Oh,
other
for sure.
and other
Excited.
amenities out there.
Yeah,
so
no, for sure.
Love talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Thanks for chatting with me for a bit. We'll get that Alaskan cruise, the caribou.
That's what I want.
And
Find
the,
me a caribou migration.
A caribou migration, Alaskan cruise, and then we'll get you to
If we
Disney
get-
to ride Guardians. How
That's
about
right.
that?
Hey, I'm look. That is I'm up for that trip.
Summer 2025 is Universal and Disney combo trip, right?
I'm in.
Gotcha.
Let's do it.
Gotcha covered. All right. Thanks, Craig.
Rizzler, hit the outro, Bubba. Guys, this has been an incredible episode. We have gone 3 hours now, more than 3 hours. If you have not hit the subscribe button and you're still watching, what is wrong with you? Hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the places. Just hit the like button. Follow us on Apple Podcasts there. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. We love and appreciate each and every one of you for listening to the show. Until next time, we'll see you then.